Welcome, everyone, to the Rangers Ed predictions episode. The preseason is ending, so we're previewing the upcoming season. This is Cousin Ed. I'm here with producer PJ and Coach Ed. What is up? I'm hearing a little echo, boys. I don't know if that's PJ.
How we doing?
What's going on, fellas?
starting off hot with an echo.
I know. I'm backstage. It sounded crystal clear, and here we are.
Yeah, big episode. Little Ed couldn't make it. That's okay. We got his predictions in, so we'll make sure to note those during the episode, and you can maybe look for him on social media with those if you want to talk some smack. But speaking of Little Ed, before we get into anything, I got to show off some of this merch from Little Ed's workshop. So I'll start with what he sent me, not Patrick. This thing is pretty cool. Like this, you got to see this. So it's like a little, when you open the box, all I saw was this. And I was like, what the heck is this? You know, like a hanger or something. And it says Rookie of the Year, 25-26 season. On the back, it says Father's Day 2025. And then it also inside the box was this little jersey with a hanger with the Rangers Ed podcast and Dad #1. So this is going to be in my office, not in Patrick's room, but nice little token there for my desk. Beautiful craftsmanship as always. But mostly the stuff that, me and Theo both loved was stuff for Patrick. Look at this. Put Patrick's height and weight on there on this little cube. A nice P for him. Proud parents with our names. Patrick's full name on there in a nice script, and then the date and time of his birth. Really special. And then he signed it on the bottom with Armo Rizzo. Him and Lindsay really did a great job with these. And then a couple little plaques for Patrick's room that I brought in here to show. This one I want to put up in the Ranger room, which I still haven't set up, and I'm getting judged probably by the fans for. But this thing is amazing. I mean, the craftsmanship on this, you can see the 3D of the text, how the wood, it's like wood glue or something. It's really on there, pretty sturdy. It's got Patrick's name in the Rangers font, and then the date, his birthday, and height and weight. And then Patrick's nursery is a safari theme. So his little, elephants and lions and stuff all over his nursery. So he made this for his room as well. Came out great. Incredible. Coach, what you and PJ are going to appreciate the most is on the back of this. It's a nice little quote that he put on there. I don't know if you guys can read it, but it says, "May the direction of the organization be shifted with the birth of this child, Little Ed, Jersey Curse Commissioner." So pretty funny and sentimental there. I love it. Thank you to Little Ed and to Lindsay as well for the work they put into all the stuff that came. That's just some of the stuff. If I sat down and showed you everything in the box, we'd have to end the episode. There was so much stuff in there. Really cool little magnets and all types of cool stuff. So, Coach,
yeah, he had all that stuff at the fair in Long Beach that we worked in.
You saw it?
Yeah, I should. He goes, I don't know if I should put this out. I said, you have to put out the Ranger thing. That thing's phenomenal.
It's so nice.
He's like, well, Eddie might see it, blah blah blah, on Instagram. I said, whatever. I said, you got to put it out.
Well, if anything, he doesn't have to worry about that because I do not go on Instagram enough to catch that. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't catch it. But he would have had to worry about Theo catching it more so than me. But
whatever, either one.
I wouldn't catch. I barely go on. Every time I go on Instagram, it tells me 4+ messages from every chat that I have, and then I click it, and it's like 50. So they just stop at 4. They're like 4+. It's like that's it.
Yeah. So anybody who does
work.
Him and Lindsay do phenomenal work. I just wanted to get everything. Go on his Instagram. He made a couple of things for an Eye on the Fan that came out phenomenal. They had their dogs named after Gillies and Nystrom. He made this memorial plaque. It really came out stuff, really cool stuff. And I'm going to open up something now.
Allie's mentioning the plaque, so I'm showing it one more time for everybody. The baby Ranger shield.
Yeah,
the shield is so cool.
Incredible. Just absolutely incredible. What do you got, Coach? Another gift?
I
from
got
Little?
something I hinted at, and he made me, and he dropped it off before he left today. He's on his way to Chicago for a family wedding. So I told him I'd open this up on the show.
Nice.
Breaking news here.
I
Yeah.
got a feeling I know what it is, but if you watched the show last week, you know that I said I wanted that sticker of Eddie Jockerman.
Oh, he made it
No.
already? Well, now we know.
So he made this,
Now we know.
and it's all set.
Yeah, we all need that. That's our name,
Wow,
dude.
that
It's
is
crazy.
so cool. If
Unbelievable.
you're just listening, make sure you tune
So
into
wait
YouTube.
a minute. You have the thing that says number 1, but I'm the number 1. So just forget,
Well, you're actually number 2, technically. Right? Technically.
Well, hello, number 2.
I was waiting for the
But
reference.
anyway, the same thing.
Dude, I was
Same
saying.
thing, guys. 3-dimensional. The
Hold
letters,
on.
all the font that's on the actual logo that they have. It's just, I love it. I'm gonna hang it up. I'm working on my range room again
Beautiful.
for the 3rd or 4th time, and this is gonna definitely go up on the wall. I love it.
That's
Perfect.
unbelievable. He did it really well, as always.
So get on
You know,
over to
it's
Little
funny-
Ed's Workshop.
It's funny you mentioned the Austin Powers quote, though, before we plug Little Ed's Workshop, because I just saw a mini-me Dr. Evil costume for father and son, and I'm trying to convince Fio to let me do it, and I think she's letting me do it. So there
you
might
gonna
That's
be.
great.
Are you going to shave
Huh?
the ball cap?
Oh no, I'll just do the bald cap. I'm not gonna shave this beautiful head of hair. You think I'm gonna shave it?
No. How about your face?
Oh, yeah, I haven't shaved since I was like 22 years old, dude. So I don't know about that. But anyway, check out Little Ed's Workshop at little_eds.workshop on Instagram. You can see all the work that he does, really good shots of it. And it's, he's been texting me, he's making the arena maps, so it's not, I know it's not, $10. It's an expensive item, but it's really worth it. The quality looks amazing. I'm really excited for that. So definitely get those while he's making them. We now know he can do things quickly. If he made that in a week, that's unbelievable for a week. So
Yeah, there's no limit.
no more excuses from Little Ed's Workshop. One more thing before we jump into the episode. We got a lot to cover. So Saturday, I took Patrick to the Mets Marlins game down here in Miami. His first baseball game. He had the little headphones on. It was pretty awesome. And I bought tickets on game time right before the game started, right behind the Mets dugout. So I was 30 feet from Juan Soto and Lindor. Patrick was quiet the whole game, didn't cry once. He was amazing. He was looking around, mesmerized at everything. I think he, loves it. So I went up to the security guard. I walked down to the field. It was right there, 2 rows, whatever. So I walked down and I said to the security guard, "Hey, do me a favor. It's my son's first game. Can you give me a baseball?" And he goes, "For him, not for you." And I was like, "Oh, this guy knows me too well. Like, he just met me. How did he know?" No, I'm just kidding. But he got one for me, and it was used. You could see the scuff marks from the infield there, the dirt on the ball still.
Nice.
So, game used ball from Patrick's first game. I coupled it with they started doing this now. I don't know if they do this in New York yet, but they kind of copied the hockey pucks. So they put like the series, September 26 to 28, Mets Marlins, game ball. So I got that plus the game ball for Patrick. So I'm expecting either a Little Ed's Workshop or something for me to display these at some point. I need to figure out a lot. I still got to frame the Lundqvist jersey. I got autographed. I got a Messi autograph now that I got to frame. So I got a bunch of crap to frame.
I was surprised you're going to bring up the Mets.
I know, brutal. PJ, I've been a Mets fan for a long time, and a lot of my friends are like angry, and I'm like, "Why are you angry?" This is like the 5th or 6th time in my life the Mets have missed the playoffs based on losing to the Marlins in the last series of the season. It's at least, it's got to be the 5th or 6th time it's happened. So I'm not surprised. I let it roll at this point. Like, what are you going to do? I just expect it, dude. The Mets are like the Jets. It's like being a Jet fan. You cannot expect the Mets to win. I know Little Ed was super confident with Steve Cohen, but whatever. Anyway, enough of the Mets.
Well,
we got a lot of Rangers to cover.
Right before that, though, if you're in Florida and need a lawyer, call Lucarelli Law and tell them the boys of Rangers Ed sent you.
Yes, we just talked about this. Thank you, PJ. Definitely check out Lucarelli Law if you need a lawyer in Florida. Also, what I did for this baseball at the Mets game, I plan to do that when we go October 12th and we're in that suite. I'm getting there when the doors open. I'm going ice level, and I'm going to hold my son up, and hopefully somebody gives him a puck. I'd make a little sign or something.
Guarantee with the kid.
He's got to get a puck for his first game, It's got to happen. So I'm going to try that again. And then I thought about it, and I was like, Patrick could have a lot of first games. Every time I go to a game for the next 3 or 4 years, he can just hold up a sign that says, "This is my first game," and it would be believable. They're not going to remember. Be like, "Oh, that's the kid. I remember that kid." Like, what do you think? Like Adam Fox is going to skate by and be like, "Isn't that the kid who had his first game last game?"
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
But you also should do, if you go to guest relations, I think they'll give you like a certificate, like the first game, and they can like print out, that for him and fill it out, which would be cool too.
Yeah, definitely do that. So that's going to be, even though we're in the suite, we still got some tickets left for the suite, right? I didn't check today.
Yeah, get them before they go out. They're dwindling as we speak.
Yeah, so we're 11 days away. Definitely hit us up on Instagram or X if you want to go to the game. I think we have a few left, not that many, but you gotta just hit us up and come. It's going to be a great time. Last year we were in the suite. Lundqvist was in there. We told you guys last week. He stopped and signed some autographs. I mean, we can't guarantee that's going to happen again, but it happened last time. So hopefully it's the same setup and the same thing happens this year. And it's really just a lot of fun. You get to hang out with Coach Ed for a few hours. I mean, I like to go to games with Coach Ed. He came down to Florida in the playoffs a couple of years ago when the Rangers went to the Eastern Finals, and we had a ton of fun. We were putting the toothpicks in our beards and stuff. But at these suites, I don't really get to hang out with him because he's just mingling with all the listeners, So you gotta come down to the Garden, hang out with Coach Ed. If anything, it's worth it for that.
You can watch me. You can watch me and Cousin Ed stress and pull our hair out.
Yeah,
for every little
So last year we went to a bar beforehand. It was like a big thing, So I don't think I'll be doing that this year. I'm gonna go when doors open, so I won't be at the bar probably, but I think probably everyone's gonna be at a bar somewhere doing, enjoying it. So definitely hit us up if you're interested before they're sold out. All right, let's get into it. So we got a couple segments tonight. First, we're going to do our lineup predictions, either, just specifies what you would do or what you think the Rangers will do, whatever you want to do. So we're going to talk Rangers lineups heading into the season as cuts are happening now in camp. And we're going to do our bold prediction. We're going to do our awards. This is an award prediction, right? So we're going to do breakout player, emerging leader, teacher's pet, sophomore slump. It's going to be a tough one. Major award winner. So whether a Ranger will win a major award in the league, who knows? But we're going to say who's most likely to do that on the team right now. Then we got a fun little over-under game we started last year, which we're going to incorporate. And, we'll wrap it up talking about who our favorite players are right now and give a little prediction on where the Rangers are going to finish in the standings. So let's jump right into it. All right. We got to make your lines. Okay. A couple cuts, Coach, that happened yesterday and today. There was more cuts, right, PJ?
Yeah, it was just Fitzgerald going down on waivers, and then it was the 11 guys, including Othman, going down early yesterday. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I mean, there's 26 guys left after Fitzgerald will clear waivers. So
yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Othman. But first, why don't you just run down for us who is sent down already and who's left, if you want.
Yep. So, I mean, yesterday, Othman was the big name. We'll obviously get to him. Mackey went down. A lot of the AHL guys, McConnell Barker, Rubrek, Terrence, Dowling, Boyko. So all these guys are down. So basically now we're left to the guys battling and, the incumbents, everyone you expected to be on the roster. So the big guys on the bubble are still battling that are here. Berard, Perot, Noah Laba, who we'll get to, has been probably the most exciting part about camp so far. And then Sheary's on a PTO battling with all those guys. And then on defense, you got Morrow and Robertson there with the normal six. So these last two preseason games will, be a big tell to see if anyone can sneak through. Otherwise, it's just shown that they got really good depth finally and some exciting news for Hartford and the future.
Yeah, I think Drury's done a really good job. This preseason has shown me, and he gets a lot of criticism, but I think he's done a really good job drafting. And some of these guys might have been drafted before Drury, so I'm sure someone will correct me if Chris is here, he'll correct me. But some of these guys might have been drafted before him. But anyway, mid rounds, hitting a guy like Noah Laba would be huge, right? Like the Rangers have no young centers that they can draft early. Every year, their first round picks are wingers or D. They don't really have a center in the system who you would say is an elite prospect. And, Noah Laba, fourth round pick, looks like he could be at least a third line guy. He looks like he's capable of developing into that, which is super exciting. But yeah, Coach, I want to start before you give us your lineup. Brennan Othmann, first round pick in 2021. He's been up and down, mostly in Hartford, though, and back to Hartford he goes. So what are your thoughts generally on Othmann, his future? And, do you think this is kind of end of the road for him? What are you feeling about Othmann?
I don't know. We watched him at the Prospects. I saw him the other night we went to the Islanders game, and he's not having bad games. He's just not finishing like he did last year, and he needed to stand out more. I mean, you guys talk about Laba. If you're not standing out in these games, it's like Dave Maloney said on the radio the other day. If you're not standing out, like Laba's standing out, Maloney said, but he didn't play against the big boys yet. He didn't get in an NHL game where, you're facing this day in night in and night out. So that's going to be a sign, that the coaches will base their decisions on that if they feel these guys can do it. And if Othmann at this level isn't standing out in these preseason games and in the prospects game, then he might need more reps. I think they're going to let him go. To me, it's better to have him down and getting reps at first top 6 minutes than being here and being buried third, fourth line, bottom six, and not getting those opportunities. Because you're going to get in a groove if you're getting those minutes and you're playing, you're getting a lot of power play time, you're going to get confidence. That's what I'm feeling they're doing. I don't think they're giving up on him, but he might just be a little bit of a slow developer. Some guys develop at 19, some guys take till they're 25. So, he seems to have the right attitude. We'll see what happens, how he responds to this decision.
Yeah, all good points. We might as well just go across the board here before we do our lineups on Othmann. It's a big topic in Rangers fandom right now. I mean, look, PJ, my thoughts. Am I disappointed? Yeah, I'd like Othmann to already be kind of in that third line wing role, working his way towards a second line spot eventually. But I look at his skill set, and he's got a great shot. He doesn't use it nearly enough at the NHL level, but he uses it at the AHL level, so it's there. He's got a little bit of an edge to his game. Whether he can effectively use that at the NHL level remains to be seen, but he's got an edge. I saw him against the Islanders the other night. He, in the neutral zone, kind of went out of his way to finish a check that maybe was unexpected by the Islanders player. And that's the kind of stuff that creates, chaos and havoc and can really energize a team. So he's got that in him. It's there. But I just think that the coach, what Sullivan said is exactly what I said before that. He's not necessarily ready for a third line reliable play, right? Like you got to be a little bit more reliable defensively and in the neutral zone to be a third line player in the league. his skill set is more top six. So if the Rangers were a bad team, he might be on the second line, right? He might be in a scoring line or something like that, and you let him cook. But I'd rather him go to Hartford, play some first line minutes, and work on that part of his game so he can come up mid-season. I'm not writing him off by any stretch. I mean, are you?
I mean, it's getting to that point. I mean, I know we were texting about this. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. I mean, the spot was right there going into this summer for the taking for him. I mean, let's be frank. They didn't get anyone. That third line spot was wide open. And he had every ample opportunity. And to be cut this early before all the other guys he was in the battle with, Perreault, Berard, Sheary, it's not a good look. It isn't. I mean, he had a good rookie series, like Coach said, and it just seems like he gets in his own head. He talked all before at rookie camp how he changed his training, how he had a mental health coach. All these things, I just think he gets so in his head and puts too much pressure on himself. Like all these guys probably do, but it seems to affect him more than others because that first game against the Devils, he was absolutely awful. It wasn't that he was not noticeable. He was noticeably bad. And then he had a pretty good game against the Islanders 2 games later. And then the latest Islander game when they had their full lineup, he was just, okay, nothing really there. So it's just, I don't know. He should be pushing for a spot at this point. I know there's been some mitigating factors with him. He lost a year basically in his development because of the stupid AHL rule where he couldn't go after he dominated juniors. He had to go back. And then last year he broke his arm or whatever he did early in the season. So he's lost time there, and I know it's hurt him. He's had some bad luck. But he's also got to push through. I mean, do I think he can make a run this year? Maybe. Like I said in the text, he's probably 2 or 3 injuries away. If they sign Sheary, then Sheary's going to make the team, and that means Perreault and Berard are likely going down, which means he's got to hop over 3 people before – unless he outplays all of them in Hartford, which I guess is possible, but just doesn't look promising. He's still young. I'm not ready to give up on him, but I'm kind of, losing my hope. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Hoffman too is last year, he suffered that injury at the end of October and he missed, 6 weeks of the year. He only played, I think, 27 I looked it up earlier, 27 AHL games and 22 NHL games. So that sucks, that's a crucial year in his development last year. But we're talking about a kid who is only 22 years old. He's a big kid, even though he's only 6 foot. He plays big. I just think guys who play that style don't necessarily transition right into the NHL. So I'm not really surprised that it's taking him a long time. I think he's got to get stronger. He's got to get a little bit more reliable defensively, and then he'll find a role. And look, the Rangers right now have a lot of wingers, I think, and that might not be the case later in the season or even next season, right? So Othman, I'm not giving him away, but I agree in the sense that he's reached a point where if a trade comes along and it makes sense for the team and his future, that you consider it. He's not untouchable by any stretch, but I still have hopes for him. But all right, so he's down. So without that kind of answers one of our questions. I feel like maybe someone would have put him in the third line left wing spot, but now that's out. So, Coach, we'll start with you. Your lineup for the Rangers, don't do power play or penalty kill, but just, your forwards and D, who you got. Obviously, Shesterkin and Quick in net.
I got Miller, Mika, and Laffy. Trocheck, Panarin, and Cooley. Parsnip, Sheary, and Berard. And Carrick, Edstrom, and Rempe.
So you have Radish as a spare?
I have Radish as a spare. I mean, him and Sheary could probably interchange based on, I haven't really watched either of them that closely, but I did see him twice, and both of them are very similar players. Sheary seems to be involved when every shift he's in, he's making something happen, kind of like we talked about last year with what's his name? I can't think of his name, but whenever he's out there, he's involved, either in a scrum, he's making a nice pass, he's getting a shot on goal, he's a typical, prototypical third, fourth line player where he's doing his job. He's creating. He's just getting involved. So there's obviously a reason why Sullivan likes him, and he's got that playoff experience, so on and so forth.
Interesting. You put Berard in that spot. I like that.
Yeah, it's like Chris said the same thing, and it's kind of funny, Coach, because we talked about before, this summer a lot. You were very down on Berard, thinking he wasn't going to.
Well, I'm not down on him. I'm just not as high on him as you guys are. I'm not saying he's going to finish the season, but right now, again, from what we've seen, I think he's there. I mean, I'm watching him live the other night. The kid blocks shots. He gets involved. Same thing as Sherry. I think he's a similar type of player he could develop into as he matures and gets older in the league. But I'm not saying he's got a spot for the next 5 years. But right now, I don't know how long his career is going to go. But right now, he's noticeable out there doing his job every shift. Not shying away from anything for his size. He's a good player, solid player.
Yeah. So PJ, why don't you give your line of your forwards? And then I'll go with mine.
Yep. So I went a little mix of what I want and also was kind of realistic. I mean, I changed it up last second. Thinking
Shesterkin, first line center. Morrow.
They'll finally score a goal that way. Actually, now that makes me want to change my bold prediction. Well, stay tuned. So I went Coley, Miller.
That's not a bold
I don't think it's
prediction
that,
that he scores one goal.
I'll go Cooley, Miller, Mika on the top line. Panarin, Trocheck, Laugh. Second line. Third line, I went Sheary, Laba, and Radish. And fourth line, Edstrom, Carrick, Rempe. I had Brodzinski as the spare. I just think Laba's earned it. I know he probably should not be rushed, but if we're looking at meritocracy and the camp he's had, in my mind, it would just be right. Give him, even if it's only 10 games, let him get run, kind of like with the Mancini, then send him down.
Similar thing they did with Derek Stepan too when he came up, and he ended up sticking and being a pretty good player. So
exactly right. And Johnny Lazarus said that same thing actually when he was interviewing Sullivan after the Islander game. He said that directly to Sullivan, and Sullivan, agreed with a lot of that it was a similar, they're not the same kind of player, but that same kind of camp and how they're responsible defensively.
I love that. Question for you though. You only had Brodzinski as a spare. So who's going down and what's going on with your forwards? Because there's a lot there.
Yep. So
I have two spares, for example, at forward, which I don't even know if they could fit under the cap, but
yeah, well, that was my thing. I just know historically the Rangers are carrying 22 with just one spare forward, one spare D. So I figured they waive Parsonen, and the reason I say that is because with him being over the minimum league minimum, and you can't put that in the minors, I think that would stop teams from claiming him. Just my thought. But I figured Perreault will go down, even though he's had an awesome camp. I'd love for him to make it. If Mika was playing center, he would make it, no doubt about it, in my mind. But he's going to go down, and Berard will go down, and I think they'll be back up at some point.
Okay.
Let me just add this before you guys go on. I also had Brodzinski as the second spare forward, and I had Robertson as the seventh D, by the way, as a spare.
Well, we didn't do our D yet, Coach. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm just going over my spares.
Now we know Robertson's the seventh D.
Spoiler
alert. Watching Parsonen, first of all, that kid's big.
I like his game. I don't know.
And I watched him live the other night. You could say all you want about Laba. I love his game, but he's not playing better than Parsnips. So just to get that out.
Whoa.
We could take a second.
Not playing better than that kid, man.
We can take a second here. I want the record to be clear that a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I said I was the first one on this podcast on the Noah Laba train. Okay, I was the first one.
All right,
but he's not making.
What?
He's not making the team over Parsonen right now. I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Right now,
I'm a huge fan of the kid.
I
Me
know
too.
that realistically he's not. We were doing our dream, what we want.
I
know
hear
they're
you.
not going to do this, but I want them to.
I didn't know that this was PJ having his head on the pillow, dreaming in the middle of the night about
him and Morrow. That's all I see. It's like
I can't wait to hear his power
going
play
over the
unit.
fence.
So
Morrow's passing the puck and Waba's scoring goals. That's in my head.
So I got my forwards are kind of a mix between both of you. I do have 2 spares just because I don't know. It's more likely than not I'm going to be wrong here, but I got Lafreniere, Miller, and Zibanejad, just like Coach. I just think that last year was Cooley there. I like that, but I think getting Laffy going is just so important. They got to get him going. So I like putting him with JT, kind of change the vibe of his game. He's not going to be, deferring to Panarin instead of defer to JT, which is a better person for him to defer to. And then Cooley doesn't need any of that. So you put him with Panarin.
Can I just interject with that point? I love it too, because if you notice with Miller, when he gets a pass, he'll immediately give it back to the guy who passed it. He sets him up for a quick give and go. And I think Laffy will thrive in that. And to me, the reason why I put him was Laffy's like a mix between Miller and I'm not going to say he's as good a passer as Panarin, but he does both. He's got that nice quick release. Yeah. And Cooley, I think you need to mix it up on the first line and Cooley with Trocheck and Panarin because you need that grinder in the corner with Panarin. So that's
exactly what I was thinking, Coach. You're right on point there, in my opinion.
Because Cooley will get in front of the net.
Cooley's not going to defer to Panarin. Cooley plays his game. So, like Laffy, you see it sometimes. He starts to see Panarin's cross-ice passes, and I feel like then he starts with it. And it's like it creates. He needs to be following a guy like JT Miller because that's what he was when he was drafted. And I hate going back to this all the time, but it's important. What made him so good is he had an edge to his game. And like when he was good in the playoffs, he had an edge to his game. He was going to the 100%. Net, peeking, hitting, mixing it up after the whistle. Playing with JT Miller is going to get him going. So that's why I like that. I hope the coach agrees. Panarin, Trocheck, and Cooley makes sense to me for all the reasons you said. For the third line, this is where I'm going to be wrong. I did put Berard in that third left wing spot, but I kind of agree realistically he's going to go to Hartford. Berard, Parsonen, and I like Radish. I mean, you guys didn't necessarily say good things about him or not bad things.
No, I didn't hate him. I just didn't see him. I said he could go in and out with Sherry. I didn't really.
He's fast. Like there was a couple times where, he was on the forecheck and I was like, oh, who's that? And I had to like look and it's Radish. Like
he's a big boy too.
So I like his game. I could see him in a fourth line role or third line role. And then I had Edstrom with Carrick and Rempe and Sheary kind of in that spot. And then I have Brodzinski as a spare mixing in too. Like I can see Rempe not playing against certain teams and Brodzinski getting a game or Sheary getting a game and Berard sitting. So I do think the coach will use all those forwards, or Berard will go down and he'll just kind of alternate, exchange Rempe in and out of the lineup with whoever the spare is. But that would be me. I would put Berard in. For me, Berard is the perfect Mike Sullivan player. I mean, it reminds me of when he took over Pittsburgh, and I know we had Nick Belsky on in the rivalry tour, and he said he wasn't great recently with young players, but when he came up, I mean, all those AHL guys that were with him in Pittsburgh, Brian Rust, Sheary, I think, was one of those guys.
Gensel.
Berard is that kind of Gensel. Berard is that kind of a guy. I feel like he'll thrive because he's coachable. He's going to listen to Sullivan. He's going to change what Sullivan wants him to change. He's not going to care. He'll play any role. He's feisty. He's got an edge. He's the perfect Mike Sullivan player, in my opinion. I just think he's going to really excel with him. So if he's not up to start the year, I do think he'll be up this year and excel with Sullivan. But those are my forwards. What about Little Ed? What did he have?
Yep. Let me pull his up here. And he had very similar, exactly the same top six as you guys. So all three of you guys are lockstep: Laffy, JT, Mika, Panarin, Trocheck, Cooley. So,
and we all probably thought we were being like slick by changing it up a little bit. Like, let's mix it up.
Look at me.
I didn't really think that was that hard of a play, but
no. But Cooley was with Zibanejad Miller last year, and Laffy was with Panarin. That's why we just changed it.
Third line, and this isn't a shock. He has Brodzinski starting. With Parsnips and Radish on the third line. And then
Brodzinski kind of earned it last year, man. He
I know.
kind of earned
I
it.
felt he had an interesting article with Molly Walker, the Post. Basically, it sounded like not that he was down, but almost like, oh my God, I gotta, show myself all over again, because Laviolette was the first coach that really gave him a true chance to like play almost kind of consistently, semi-consistently. But now he's got to prove himself all over.
That's life in the big city, man. You're a fringe guy, Every year you got to prove it. Look at Jimmy Vesey. Where is he right now?
Yep. Rempe, Carrick, and Edstrom was Littlewood's fourth line, and his spares, he had 14 forwards, so he had Berard and Sheary as his spares.
Oh, I can't see Berard as a spare. He'll either be in Hartford or in the lineup, right? I mean, but I guess he just likes Berard's game.
During the Islander game the other night, I'm going to say about halfway through, watching Laba and Rubric played in that game too. I turned around to Eddie and Mark and I said, guy like Rempe, these guys are on his tail. He's got to pick it up. They're not quite his size, but they're both, I think, over 6'3".
Laba's big, yeah. I don't know.
They're big boys. And you don't even notice an awkwardness in their skating. And their hockey instincts are ahead of Rempe. But the problem is, like I said before, I don't think they're going to be third, fourth line players.
It's a role.
Rempe's going to be a fourth. As long as the NHL stays with that fourth line grinding, which right now it should be for the next few years, they're not going to be that player. But Rempe's got guys chasing him, and Edstrom as well. I love Edstrom to death, but these guys can play.
I mean,
like you
that's
just
good.
You just said with Brodzinski, he's got to earn it. These bottom six have to earn it every camp. They got to come in ready. These guys are good.
Yeah, it's a harsh league, I mean, you lose a step and you're out, that's it. Like, so you're not a guy like Mika Zibanejad who's had a 40-goal season where you can have a bad year and get another chance. Like you're Matt Rempe, so he's got.
We were at the. I don't know if I mentioned this that episode. I don't know if I mentioned it that episode after the prospects camp, but I think I turned to. I don't know if it was PJ or Eddie, and I'm watching these guys play. There's 40 guys on the ice, and I look and I go, times this by how many teams are in the league? 28, 30, what is it? 32. Each team has 20 guys, prospects, 20 AHL players, and only a handful. So that's 20 times 32 is what, 600 guys?
Yeah.
Prospects, not even AHL. These guys are unbelievable hockey players, and a handful are going to make it. Not even mention the guys in Europe playing.
Think about it differently, because that's true, right? Think about goalies. It's only 2 goalies on the team.
Too, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's only the top 64 goalies technically, and it's not always the case because some teams have a third goalie who's like better than another team's second goalie, right? But there's 64 spots for you as a goalie. That's it.
And again, we're watching the warm up the other night, and I'm watching Shesterkin. These guys are ripping shots, and his ability to track the puck, and then Garand got in the net. It's a noticeable difference.
It's the headband, coach.
It's a level that way up here.
He's got the Russian gas
over here.
He's got the Russian gas being released in the headband during the game.
It's like a note. These guys, he's just gloving it. And Garand has to work at it.
Yeah,
like he's got this natural.
Durant's good too. He's good. He's a good prospect.
How good?
No, I'm not saying nothing to take away from him. I'm just saying that the level. This kid is on the cusp of NHL level, getting there, and it's Shesterkin's just on another cloud.
Best in the world. Right
George, I am going to save this for you and play it every time you talk shit.
That doesn't mean he's not going to make mistakes, BJ.
Oh, no, right. No, I agree. He's going to let up bad goals, but at the end of the day, we're so lucky to have him.
Let's not go off the rails too much.
But I wanted to tie a bow on this and just say it's been a breath of fresh air, Othman aside, this camp, seeing how hard these young kids are pushing and how much depth they have. I feel like in past years, the lineup felt like it was set for all of camp. It was just maybe like the 13th forward or the spare D. It's been fun to watch. And
oh yeah,
Perreault, I mean, like any other year, Perreault makes this team, I feel like. And Berard and Laba. I mean, these guys are pushing it. It's really exciting. And
I feel like after the rookie camp, when you guys came back and kind of highlighted how it went, I was not expecting Perot to look this good in the preseason. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with his play. I mean, he's showed creativity. His passing on that goal, the pass to Laba on the overtime goal was beautiful. Really gorgeous goal. So
he has that ability to draw guys to him. And
Chris made a good point about the 14 forwards with the deadline cap space. I totally agree, and that is what the Rangers have done. But just for sake of it, I want Berard on the team, and I think the only way he's on the team is with 2 spare forwards, right? Because that's why it's likely he goes down. Sheary gets that spot. They're not going to cut Sheary or Brodzinski, in my opinion. They're going to sign Sheary after his preseason. So I wanted Berard in there, but I agree with that. Okay, Coach, we're going to do
the only
D.
thing about the only thing about Perot, he does a few too many blind passes. Well, you were talking about him. You didn't give me a chance.
I'm sorry.
He just does a few too many blind passes that led to giveaways. The Islanders had, I think I had count 3 scoring chances on odd man rushes because he did a blind pass to the front of the net and they broke out. But go ahead.
Yeah, Oscar, you cannot get a Perot jersey yet. You can get a Hartford Wolfpack Perot jersey if you'd like, because that's where he'll be. But
I'd be stunned if Perot doesn't play NHL minutes this year.
No, I know. I'm just busting his chops. But also, he said, I'm only bringing that up because in the last episode we had him on, he's saying all this jersey foul stuff, and then the next comment out of his mouth is, "I'm getting a Perot Centennial," and I'm like, how are you going to do that? He hasn't played in any. He hasn't made the team. He might not wear the jersey. It's like that's a jersey foul.
They were wearing it 10 times, so if they were at one of the later seasons. But shout out to our last jersey and the episode last year was Oscar and Mark. The Rangers in practice seem to be wearing their Centennial shells for the pants and the gloves and the helmet, so you can kind of get an idea what the full kit's going to look like. It's going to be pretty come opening night.
I'm looking forward to it.
Especially Shesty's pads.
All right, PJ, give me your defense.
All right. Gavrikov, Fox, top pair, which I cannot wait. This will
get ready for a lot of analytics texts about how good Gavrikov and Fox are together, like 70% Corsi.
Their first game together, 79%.
Every game, it's going to be a text, a chart. We're going to send you a chart.
I'm not that like. It's funny because I'm not the biggest analytics guy in the world, but on the show I seem to be. But
I know, me either.
But I am dying for them to be like analytically good, like above 50% would be nice. I'm sick of them getting plastered across the board from the analytics.
We're in the same boat. I'm like 50-50 eye test analytics. Coaches 0 analytics, 100%.
You are no way 50-50.
No, I am.
There's no way you're 50-50.
No, I am not like one of those prospect nerds that stares at only the numbers and doesn't watch the games. There are people like that who don't need to watch a game, will look at charts and data, and they'll tell you who's good and who's bad. There's people who think that you could do that. I don't believe that. You have to watch the game because there's a lot of things that happen that are not measurable in hockey. So I'd say you're 50, like
65-30. I'd say you're 65-35.
All right, you're just splitting hairs, busting my chops now for no reason. All right, Gavrikov, Fox. Who else?
Gavrikov, Fox. Second pair is I'm dying for them to do this. Doesn't seem they're going to. I have Schneider, Borgen.
Me too. Yes.
I think it's about, and we're going to talk about this later with one of our awards, but they need to give Schneider a bigger role already. It's just 3 coaches that have them on the third pair, and it's really weird to me. So I think he needs to be pushed up there because I think the third pair needs to be Susi Morrow. And then Vakanainen can come in and out with Susi or Morrow. But I think Morrow needs to make this team bad. I know it's biased, but they just need another puck mover, someone to push, carry the puck up ice, get it up the ice. They need it, especially for the second power play. And even though it's probably not going to play a ton, they need it. You could see Morrow generate shots from the net. Gets the puck in the forward's hands. Sure, is he making mistakes defensively? Yeah, but what Aled and everyone always say, another way of showing defense is not being in the D zone. When he's on the ice, the Rangers seem to be pushing up the ice. So I want that. That would be my ideal. I know this probably not going to happen.
I don't disagree, but I did not
what a
have
surprise.
I did not have
I had
Morrow
to.
making the team to start the year. I do think he will be on this team the latest by Christmas. I think. I don't think he gets past there.
Agreed.
But I don't have him making the team because he's waiver exempt. And Robertson, to me, is worth taking another crack as a 7th D. And I don't think they're going to waive Vakanainen or Susi. So for me, Robertson would get claimed, so I'm not waiving him. I'm sending Morrow down. And I got Susi and Vakanainen on the third pair, put Vakanainen on the right side. And Robertson can come in for Susi here and there if needed. But I just think that it's possible at some point during the year that either Susi or Vakanainen severely disappoint. And at that point, Robertson or Morrow will take a crack at it. I think it's possible. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping Susi bounces back. I'm hoping Vakanainen keeps developing the way I saw last year, that I liked his game, and that doesn't happen, and then we got a good problem. But I just have a feeling Morrow will be up by Christmas, and one of those guys will be out of the lineup. But that's my starting night 6. Coach, what about you?
I have the same 6 and the same spare. I think those decisions are going to be made, like you're talking about, by Christmas based on how successful the team is. If they do start with these 7 that we're picking and they're right knocking on the door on first place and they're competing every game, and
why change it, right?
Why change it? The second comment I'm going to have on that, again, just like I said before, you watch Vakanainen play. And I like Morrow. I like his development. He did make like 3 nice little subtle dishes the other night that are kind of unrecognizable by like an average fan. But Vakanainen is an NHL style player. The size, the decision making in traffic, he's very quick. Morrow still makes he's quick making the decisions, not with his feet. He's quick making decisions. Morrow's a better skater, but he's got to develop more on those decision making. He didn't play against, like Maloney said, the big boys yet. It's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, my thing too, when you look at the teams, and I push back on this all the time, but Morrow was in a small guy. He's 6'2", right?
No, he's got good size.
So he's got real good size for his skating ability and puck control and breakout passes. I mean, he could be an elite defenseman. There's no doubt in my mind. Will he? Who knows? But he could be. But Susi's 6'5", Vakanainen's 6'2". That I just think Susi's going to get a real hard look here. Drury's an old school guy. Sullivan's an old school guy. He's 6'5". Like that. An NHL caliber defenseman is 6'5" is important in this, in this day and age. So
the key will be skate in this system.
They're going to give him a chance to really be impactful. And look, he was an impactful defenseman. He had 1 bad year, 1.5 bad years or so. Analytically, I didn't watch him every day, so I have no idea what his game was like during that time, really. But his analytics were terrible. But we'll see. I mean, it's the thing about hockey. Like every year, there's a whole offseason for these guys to figure stuff out, change things about their game. How many times, Coach, you go into a new baseball season and they're like, "Oh, this guy now throws the spinning changeup, new pitch," or like he worked on it. Like you don't know what Susi's been doing all offseason. We have no idea. So it's a whole.
No, I agree.
He's gonna get a look, and we got to give him a clean slate and not get angry in preseason that a guy who's been bad is making the team, because they're going to give him that opportunity in the first 10, 15 games to really reestablish himself.
Look at what we always talk about. The guy was in Vancouver how many years? He's got to move to New York, the trade deadline, whole new lifestyle. Where am I living? Maloney did talk about that on the NHL Network, the same thing. Not about Susi particularly, but JT Miller was already here. He knew what to expect. He knew what to get his family set up. He's a different animal altogether, but he was ready for it. Susi's, that's a big jump to come all the way here in this lifestyle. So hopefully he bounces back. He was at a high level with Vancouver. I remember watching the Rangers play Vancouver. He was always beating up on the Rangers and defending and everything. He was noticeable out there. He wasn't a liability.
Look, people people hated Trouba, and there's a lot of reasons to dislike Trouba at this point. But during the seasons that he was here, yes, he kind of deteriorated. But in the beginning, you need defensemen like that. You cannot have 6 guys who are Brian Leach. I mean, Brian Leach's a Hall of Famer, bad example. But you can't have the 6 style players like that. Like, so you need to have different kinds of players back there. Soucy's a different look on the Rangers back end. He's a different look right now than the other 5, and that's important. And he can have a use, right? Coach, I mean, in front of the net, you want to get cross-checked by Scott Morrow or Carson Soucy? Who would you rather get cross-checked by?
100%. And the same thing we're talking about.
Brady Tkachuk in front of the net.
Yeah, the same thing we're talking about. Laba and Othman and these guys, are they going to benefit from being bottom 6? So is Morrow going to benefit from being third pair, or is he going to benefit from playing 60 games in the AHL top pair?
Well, he's
developing that quick decision
on this team.
He's a young kid. Let him get that decision making. Let him get involved more. Let him build some muscle up. The whole thing we always talk about. Yeah,
no rush.
Is he really going to impact Is he really going to impact the Rangers right now? Let's see what happens.
I mean,
if he was, I'd say make the team, but I don't see it.
It's still a question mark.
Yeah, he dominated the AHL last year. It's just like he knows he can play NHL, but it's just oh well. But that's what my mind with Soucy was. I thought he was a good partner for Morrow because he could be that stay-at-home, big body, take some ice away, and let Morrow do his thing.
I agree with that. What was his year last year in the AHL, Morrow? You said
39 points in 51 games.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And played 15 games in the NHL and 5 playoff games.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a defenseman. 40 points.
First pro year, too. Yeah. I mean, very good.
Yeah. So he's an exciting prospect. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, honestly. And Chris brought up a good point. I put it up on the screen about that Soucy will fit better in the box coverage, the man instead of man to man, the zone.
Definitely.
Honestly, all of them will. That man to man was rough. So I think it'll just be less stress. And I thought Trocheck made a good point of saying that the zone, the way that at least that Sullivan wants to do it, it's less movement in the D zone, so they'll have more energy to push back the other way. And you could see a lot of times they would get stuck in the zone on the man-to-man, and they were gassed, and they'd just be constant. And that's why they're constantly pinned in, just coming in waves.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But it's Morrow's been good. I have high hopes for him, but he's not making it for me. Okay, let's talk.
Little Ed's defense.
Oh yeah, Little Ed.
Yeah,
Little Ed's.
Little Ed. This is we shouldn't be shocked by this. He has Gavrikov, Fox, second line Borgen, Schneider, just like me and you, cousin.
Ready for coach had that too.
Oh, did okay? Yeah, sorry. And then the third pair, Vakanainen, Robertson.
Really?
And then he has the spare Morrow, which I don't know if he was just pulled over on the side of the road and didn't think it. That means Soucy's getting traded or waived or something. So
they should do that if they're gonna. If Soucy is not good enough, they should clear that cap and get him off the team. 100%. And he shouldn't be a spare at $3.5 million or whatever he's making. But yeah, okay. I'm really high on Robertson too. 2nd round picks. I love when prospects make it. So I love the confidence Little Ed shows in Robertson. And if Little Ed puts him in, then he's been good defensively, or he wouldn't be in the lineup. So
well, I was going to put him in, but I want to give Soucy the chance. That's my opinion. But Robertson, I watch him again behind the play, his awareness of what he does away from the puck. I just love his game, and he's a big kid. I thought he wasn't a liability. Again, it was only the Islanders' second string, but he was out there against Barzell a couple of times with Morrow. Kid can play. I'm looking. I hope he makes it myself.
Yeah, they're not going to waive him, coach, and lose him for nothing. They're going to give him at least the Libor Hayek treatment.
The only will is if Morrow makes it. Like if Morrow has the last 2 good games and they want to have Vakanainen be the spare, and Vitale.
All the more reason to send him down, PJ. Why not have both assets in the organization?
Oh, I think that's what they're going to do. If I'm being realistic, it definitely seems they want to start that heavy and then just bring kids up. But Vitale says, based on do we actually see the preseason do we see
No.
Schneider? And no, I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I kind of want to get into this a little bit before because I said it briefly. You guys love Schneider. I mean, I don't dislike him, but I would be willing to trade him for someone big, like a forward or something. And I know you guys were staunch against that. Why is it 3 coaches now that are burying him on the third pair? What are we missing? Doesn't make any sense to me if he's this good.
Well, I think part of it, and I'll let Coach speak to what the coaches actually are thinking, but I think from an organizational perspective, I think part of it is that he just hasn't had like a lot of opportunity to really shine. Fox has the role, the power play offensive defenseman type role. They've had Trouba, who's been more of the defensive captain of the team, right? So he just hasn't had the opportunity to really shine in either of those 2 roles. So he's kind of been in this, in my opinion, this kind of like hybrid third pair role, flashing offense, unstable defensively because of that, in my opinion. And he keeps having his partner changed over and over again. I mean, how many D partners has Schneider had in the third pair? I think Little Ed brings that up 20 times a season, and he's not wrong, But the reason I don't want to trade Schneider, and then I'll let Coach talk about what the coaches are thinking. He's 24 years old. He's 6'4", 213 pounds, right-handed defenseman. He's still developing, guys. I mean, this kid, people forget this. He's 4 years in the NHL already. He's still developing. He's a defenseman. He's not even, when he hits 27, 28, then we'll know what the finished product is on Braden Schneider and where he is. But for now, I'm not giving him up. I mean, granted, if you're trading him you said for a forward, I don't know what that means. Like, I didn't want to trade him for like JJ Peterka, right? But that doesn't mean I wouldn't trade him. There's guys I would trade him for, but like not for a, second line winger. No.
Before Coach goes, I just wanted to say though, it was weird to me because when Trouba was hurt at the end of 23-24, that like month and a half, 2 months, and even into the playoffs, he was playing second pair with Miller and been doing pretty damn well. And then all of a sudden they switched it back up the end of the playoffs. And then the whole next season, he's back buried on the third pair. It's just odd to me.
Yeah.
And I guess it could be the injury, like Mark said. Maybe they're just building him back up. And Sullivan did say he's probably the third or fourth best defenseman, even though he's on the third pair. But just, you think you want to give him a bit more responsibility.
Well, then put him ahead of Borgen. Put Borgen on the third pair.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would do that.
I mean, Coach, what is it with Schneider that's holding him back?
Well, first of all, in the Islander game the other night, did not have anything near his best game. He was struggling out there. I don't know why. He just seemed to be struggling. A lot of giveaways. It was tough. Tough to watch when you're a big Schneider fan. I'm willing to admit it, unlike PJ with Morrow. But I think like you just said, like Cuz just said, and you just said, PJ, that did you say to him that Sullivan feels he's in the top 3 or 4? But, there's still decisions to be made as far as pairings go. You can't just put a guy in the third, number 3 or 4, and play him second pair if he's not going to mix with the right partner. And being that, like Little Ed said, and I've said it many times as well, when you have a defenseman that you could rely on and put him with multiple partners, he kind of gets stuck in that typecast. Like, let's put him with Schneider on the third pair. Schneider can handle it. Schneider can handle it. Schneider can handle it. So after 2-3 years, he kind of gets buried in that. I mean, I've done it to players too. It's a hard decision to make, but when you have to get certain guys in the lineup, it's, you don't have a choice. Unfortunately, Schneider's taking the brunt of it. I think mix that with a few injuries and his youth, and he's kind of stuck there. So let's see if he can come out of it. If he gets the second pair, let's see if he can come out of it. To me, he has shown offensive ability. So it'd be nice to see if he can get a little bit more of that, to see if he can do it and accept it. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you're right. And I mean, I will defend Schneider for that game against the Islanders because that was his first action since his surgery and since the end of last year. I mean, he even admitted he was so rusty and the game was so fast for him. I just think he was kind of shaking the cobweb.
Yeah. I'm just saying it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was expected. So I'm sure he'll probably get these last 2 games to kind of get his speed and hands back together. So we shall see. But good point by Chris that we forget how young Schneider still is. I think Cousin said it, but only 1 year older than Morrow.
Yeah, people forget because he's been in the league so long now. They expect him to already be established, but defensemen take a long time to develop.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Schneider. I want to make that clear. I'm just confused why this continues to happen, and I think the reason he's not on second pair is holding back an opportunity to give Morrow a spot. And
they gave Will Borgen $4.1 million in the middle of the season after like 3 games. So that is part of it. But look, I like Will Borgen too. I don't want to we're already an hour into the episode. We haven't gotten to the second segment yet. So let's go to the power play.
90 minutes.
Coach, what's your power play?
Never meant to time.
Well, you guys keep going off the rails with analysis here.
Yeah, we've had some good analysis tonight.
It's gold, though. It's gold. Coach, power play.
Well,
tell me.
I'm a big fan. I think they have enough offensive strength. And I know Panarin, you got to keep him out there at a minute and a half, yada, yada, yada. I don't know about that. I would just put my first 2 lines as the power play unit. I don't see a reason to change it up. Give those 6 power play time, and it keeps the flow of the game. What's that?
You're splitting up the power plays, balancing them out?
No. Keep Miller, Mika, and Laffy PP1, Panarin, Trocheck, Cooley PP2. Let's say 1 and 1A. I'm not saying 1 is first or second, but when you have a power play, especially if they're out there for almost 2 minutes, it kind of ruins the flow of your lines, and you have to get that back into a sequence. I've said that before on talking about it with you guys, and I don't see why break up a line if they're playing together well as a line. Why break it up for the power play when you're giving them a chance to play well with 1 extra skater? So
if they're playing well, it makes sense. Yeah.
If they're playing well, I mean, I'm going to assume those 2 lines are going to play well. That's why I have.
Who's the other 2 players on them with them?
What do you mean?
So if you're doing the first 2 lines, like you have Miller.
Yeah, and then you have defensemen. I would say
you're doing 2D?
I would say, 2D on the point.
Really?
Yeah. I would go.
That's Coach's style. He does this every year. He says this every year, PJ. Not a single team in the NHL does this, but Coach would. So it's fine. But that's his style.
You have guys that can play. You guys
love him.
You got guys that can play, man.
I don't think we have the
guys that can play the blue line.
I don't think we have the defenseman right now, if Morrow especially is sent down, to have 4 defensemen on the point.
No, I might put one of the forwards up on the point on the second unit, maybe Panarin or maybe Mika or, I don't know, Miller possibly. I wouldn't disagree with that. But
that's my issue.
You think Gavrikov can't handle the puck on the blue line on the power play? You don't think his hockey IQ is big enough to handle that? I watched him a little bit, and I think he's got it. I'm not saying he's going to get 50 power play points, but I don't think he'd be a liability out there setting up Mika and Miller and hitting the bumper position. He's a smart player, and I'd like to give Schneider a shot at some point for some power play time to see if he can make it. He's shown some passing ability. So,
well,
I'm not saying giving him a minute and a half on the power play, but throw him out there.
We agree on that, but first, let's hear Little Ed's. I want to hear Little Ed's power play before we do mine.
Let's get him up here, and he's got power play 1, JT, Panarin, Cooley, Fox, Laffy. So he's split them up. I kind of like it.
Did he copy? He literally copied me. We didn't even talk about this at all. It's exactly my power play, first power play.
The Eds are syncing up tonight. And then power play 2, he has Mika, Trocheck, Schneider, Parsnips, and Panarin.
Parsnips threw in there.
Interesting.
Yo, that kid wins a lot of faceoffs too.
I got so interesting because we're almost the same. I have Laffy. I got Panarin on the high, like the high circle on the left side. Laffy on the right. Miller in the bumper. Cooley in front of the net and Fox at the point. That's my PP1. PP2, Zibanejad and Panarin spot. I got Trocheck in the bumper, Parsonen in front of the net as well.
Really?
Yep. And then I got Fox and Schneider.
Wow.
Little Ed on the Parson
That's a
and
box
bandwagon.
for
I
you.
mean, cousin Ed on the Parson and bandwagon. I love it.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
there it is. If Oscar's still watching or listening, that's the jersey next for good.
I like Parson in front of the net. How big is that kid? Like, just put him in
He's
front of the net.
huge. When we watched the warm-ups, I turned to Eddie and I go, "You see how big he is?" I couldn't believe
I
it.
debated saying Rempe, but I would have got so much crap for that. But like
Wait for mine.
Just put a big guy in front of the net like that. That's how Kreider was so successful. Replicate it. Cooley, Parsonen, same idea, right? They're not going to be as good as Kreider, but same idea. I like Fox staying out the whole 2 minutes. I don't see any reason for Fox to come off the ice. And I bring Schneider on the second unit with 2D like Coach likes, just because Fox would be a little tired. And you need a defensively reliable guy out there. And I'd like to give Schneider a little bit of a chance. He shows some puck skills.
The reason why, cousin, I'd stay with Parson instead of Rempe in front. I like the size, like you said, but I think the hockey IQ needs to be there. And Rempe's awkward. He gets knocked on his butt when he turns and stuff. You need a guy for puck retrieval. That's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
Parson is
that
more
makes
of a
sense.
solid skater. Parson is more of a solid skater.
Yeah, I just like the kid. I think you got to give him an opportunity.
Did you see the breakaway?
An opportunity.
See the breakaway out of the penalty box?
That was incredible.
We were going nuts. It was great.
All right, PJ, let's hear your completely different power play.
You teed me up. Wait till you hear power play 2. So my power play 1 is almost all reliable. I have Fox at the top, JT, Mika, Panarin, and I have Loff. And I know Sullivan has even had a good quote that if they want to get the most out of Lafreniere, he needs to find a way to get some power play 1 minute. So hoping that happens. I don't know if it'll be every game, but power play 2, considering I had Morrow in my lineup, I threw Morrow as the second guy to run the power play. You can definitely run a power play. And I have Trocheck for faceoffs there. I have Cooley, Sheary, and I did have Rempe. Sullivan's been using him. He's been using him there on the second power play unit.
Wait a minute. So your second power play is Cooley, Sheary, and Rempe?
And Trocheck.
Who's on the point?
Morrow. Because remember, I have Morrow making the team.
So the only defenseman out there is Morrow with Rempe, Cooley, and Sheary.
And
Thank God you're not the coach of the Rangers.
It's a power play. This should be
I sense a lot of shorties.
Not in the NHL. Not in the NHL, PJ.
Yeah, but Coach,
last
PJ
year
has
was
that
the
unit.
most shorthanded goals in history.
PJ has that unit out for about 18 seconds.
8 seconds.
But
Rempe
has played on the second power play. Sullivan,
I've seen it.
He's working. He's working it.
But not with Sheary and Cooley.
Hey, they can skate back. Trocheck can skate more. They all can skate back.
All right.
Let's hear
what happens.
Let's hear the PK. So for the PK, the way I did it is I did 3 sets of forward pairs and then 2 sets of D pairs because I don't think it's not all 3 D pairs really on the PK, right? So that's how I did it. I know it's not always how everyone does it, but I'll start. So I had Zibanejad and Miller as a pair, Cooley and Trocheck, and then I have Edstrom and Carrick as my 3 forward pairs. I could see Radish or Parsonen, getting in there, maybe Berard if he's on the team, Sheary, but I like Edstrom and Carrick in that spot. And then for me, I have no Adam Fox on the PK. I have Gavrikov and Soucy, and then I have Schneider and Borgen. And the only reason I do that, I know there are 2 lefties and 2 righties, is I had Schneider and Borgen together as a pair. So in my mind, why break them up for the PK when they're both on it? But if you don't have them together as a pair, then you probably split the righties and lefties there. And I have Soucy in for Fox and that with Gavrikov. Big bodies, I Coach, I don't know about you. We're going to get to you in a second, but I don't want to see Adam Fox on the penalty kill. And it's not because he's not good on it, but I want him for 2 minutes on the power play. I want him to really just hone his game offensively. He's solid defensively. If they can survive, with him not getting PK minutes and have an effective penalty kill, to me, that is the best case scenario. What do you think of that?
I've been saying that for a couple of years. Why make him get those minutes? I'd rather have him getting offensive minutes. Not that he's a liability defensively, but why have him in front of the net taking a shot off the shin, off the ankle, and risking that? I mean, I don't want to live in fear of him getting hurt, but why go with the percentages? Why do that percentage when you have other guys capable of it? And that's where you'll get the bottom pairs more ice time. That's their thing. They're defensive players more. And you got guys like Borgen, you got Schneider, you got Susi, you got Vakanainen. These guys can play. Well, Gavrikov, he's not going to get power play minutes most likely. These guys, put them back there. Give Fox the break. Why does he got to play 26 minutes over 80 games, hopefully?
Yeah, and it's situational, right? Like if you're down a goal with 10 minutes to go and you're shorthanded, 100%. You probably put Fox out.
And it's funny you guys are bringing this up because under Little Ed's PK note, he said, "I don't care, just no Fox on PK." That's all he said.
We're all on the same page here. PJ, we're entering season 7 of this podcast, by the way. So congrats to us.
Seriously.
Season 1, like episode 2 or 3, is titled "Use Wooden Sticks on the Penalty Kill," because Coach Ed had this rant. And I will have to dig this up at some point, but he had this rant about how players should be using wooden sticks on the penalty kill. I forgot why. I don't even remember the reason he said.
I'll tell you why. Let's have a recap, because if you watch games, the amount of times that they take a face off and the stick snaps, and now they're standing there like this trying to defend in their defensive zone. You don't need the 85 flex on the penalty kill.
Coach has been
stick to take a draw.
One time I went to open hockey with Coach, and he had a wood stick. I'll never forget it.
When I played, I had a wooden goalie stick. Those things are dense, but I thought Coach was going to say so you can like slash and cross check guys and make it hurt a little bit.
Well, that's
where he was going with it.
That too.
Yeah. I do.
The other reason why I don't have Fox on the penalty kill, first of all, I love.
Hold on, cue up Bella before Coach gets into.
I was just about you blew my segue. I was like, "This is a perfect." This whole
hold the thought. This is a Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner, sponsored by Bella.
Hey everybody, Coach Ed here. I'm over here in the shop at Bella Italia, Marble Granite and Quartz, picking up my order for a nice little bathroom I'm doing. I've been a contractor almost as long as I'm a hockey coach. So listen to me when I tell you, when you want the quality work and craftsmanship, I'm going to see the boys over at Bella. They serve all 5 boroughs, Westchester, Long Island, all the way out to Montauk. Whether you're a Ranger fan, Islander fan, Devils fan, they're going to take care of you no matter what. Make sure you give them a call, 516-561-1018. Let's go Rangers.
All right, boys, bring it in.
Now Coach forgot what he was going to say.
No, first of all, I got to talk to Giuseppe. He's got to get soccer off the TV during the commercial.
That is so funny.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Anyway.
I was going to go before you go, Coach. I was just going to, and hopefully this tees into what you're talking about, the wooden sticks on the PK. As a coach, too, I'm curious your answer to this, because it's my pet peeve. I see it all the time when guys break their stick and they just stand there. They're useless. Just go to the bench for 10 seconds and come back. You can survive for 10 seconds.
Well, it depends on which end of the rink you're on. I don't disagree with that. But, again, even the defensemen, they block a shot, the stick breaks, now they're standing there in front of the net with nothing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense to me. Look, back in the day when I was a kid watching the Rangers, I've said this before, Carol Vadnais was famous for having a power play stick, a penalty kill stick. The blades were different. Everything was different because he was big on stick position, like we always talk about. Back in the late 70s, he was talking about that a lot, So that's where I kind of got that in my my mind also. And, it's just one of my things. I don't see any reason why they can't use it, but whatever. So for me, like I was starting to say, if there's a 50-50 puck in the corner, Fox is looking really good skating this year. He definitely
either the injury's healed or he's been working hard at it, because he's skating hard. It's a difference that I've noticed. But I still don't think he's got the legs to beat guys 50-50 in the corner and the strength. And why do you want him going in the corner, taking extra hits? Again, like I said, wearing him down. We watch that Paul Maurice video all the time. I send it to my team like once every 2 weeks. You know, pound the D, pound the D. That's the mentality of the NHL, especially when you get to the playoffs. Why have him in that position to get worn down when you're going to need him in overtime, power play, you know, stuff like that?
Yeah.
So that would be that's my reasoning mainly behind it. Is he capable? Yes. But their aggressive penalty kill that they have, you need an attack kind of defenseman with some size that's going to be able to have a stick reach and attack the guy in the corners.
Yeah. I like it. I think you're right, Coach. All right. You and PJ got to give your forwards. And I guess PJ didn't give his D yet either.
I did not.
All right, so my forwards, I'm not putting Miller out there again. He's going to get enough offensive time and 5-on-5 time. And I'm not putting Mika either. I got Trocheck, Cooley, Parsnip, Sherry, and Carrick and Eddie. 3 pairs.
I just think for Mika, I hear you, but I just think for Mika,
situational, like you said, situational. Situational.
Slumps, that's where he's best for some reason. You know.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't hate it, but again, why wear these guys down over 80 games?
Yeah, situational. I like situational coaching. I think that's the most effective coaching. John Cooper is a pro at that. You know,
I don't know.
Always good.
Coach, if you didn't listen to Sullivan's, I forget which interview it was. Like, I mean, his interviews on Rangers YouTube are a treat. But you'll love what he just said, because it's exactly what you said. He said all these top guys can't play top power play, top PK, top minutes every single night for 82 games. They can't, because they'll wear
common sense, PJ.
And that he's thinking that same way, which is kind of the mindset. So he's probably going to do similar things, like you're saying. So you guys are lockstep there.
Don't you think he's getting Sherry a good look for a reason? You know, he's going to be one of his key guys on the penalty kill and the grind, you know.
I mean, he knows the system, that's for sure. I mean, he needs a guy to help, and
he's guaranteed making it, but
yeah, I mean, he's a good leader, was down in the HL. I mean, it's worth a shot to start out, you know, if he can build off the momentum of camp. And if he teeters out like Benino did, or, you know, anybody, he can always be sent down and then bring one of the kids. But
yes,
my PK, my forwards, I have Trocheck and Mika, because I know obviously Mika doesn't have Kreider anymore, but Trocheck and Mika were a pair last year and did well together. I have Cooley, JT, and Carrick and Radish. But I mean, like Coach said, and when I was making these pairs, there's a lot of guys. So if you do want to limit minutes, like Edstrom can do it, Parsonen probably can do it. So there's, you know, some good balance and depth there, which is nice if you want to give the guys a breather. But I'm going forward with you guys. My top 2 D pairs were Gavrikov, Schneider, Susie, Borgen. And then at the end of the penalty kill, I say throw Gavrikov and Fox out there. Maybe you catch the tire guys up the ice out of the box. But I'm with you to limit Fox's minutes. He plays enough, and he's worn down by the end of the year.
The thing with Fox that I will say about his PKing, his breakout passes lead to a lot of shorties. You know, so losing that could affect the team's shorties. But, you know, you're hoping guys like Schneider and Borgen can make, you know, breakout passes too. So I guess we'll see. We'll see. All right, so interesting. We'll see how it shakes out. Let's move on though. Let's do now our bold predictions. This is my favorite segment of the entire season, because I always look back at this and it's a disaster, right? Because we're going hard here. Like, this isn't a prediction that is easily attainable, right? So it's, if you hit, it's like, wow, I called that, you know. But if you miss, you're like, yeah, whatever, I missed. I think last year I picked Zibanejad to score 40 goals. I really want to do that again, because I feel like I'm always a year early on my predictions. But yeah, so bold predictions, we recapped them already at the end of season episode, so you can go there and hear how bad they were if you want. But, PJ, this is, I think, your first time doing the bold predictions. I think you joined us kind of mid-year last year. You didn't get to do it. So we'll start with you. I want to hear your bold prediction for this season. It better be bold.
It was tough to think of one. I know I jokingly said Jesse score a goal, but it's not really bold. I'm going, maybe this is more manifestation. I want Lafreniere is going to score over 70 points this year.
I got to change mine now.
So is that what you had?
I had 75 points.
Nice. Let's go.
All right. I mean, that's kind of lame.
We planned it ahead of time. That's great.
It's pretty bold. No,
so finally, I'm on the same page as somebody. I feel like you guys have all been, lockstep, and I've been alone. So I like this.
Yeah, I mean, give your reasons. I'll do a different one.
I just feel like he kind of got embarrassed. You can tell at the end of last season he was pretty bummed out about how his season was. It seems like all reports are he had a really big summer. He even said it straight up to Molly Walker, I want to have a big year. We know he's playing top 6. Sounds like he's going to get some PP1 time. So he had basically 60 points 2 seasons ago. Last year, even with a down season, had really good 5-on-5 numbers. You add some power play points on top of that, there's 70.
Yeah, I mean, I had Lafreniere 75 points. I agree. I think if he's put with JT Miller, he's going to have a big year. And this is a huge year for his career, in my opinion. I think if he has a bad year, he's gone. I mean, they're going to trade him. That'll be the end of his Rangers tenure. He showed so much promise. So that was my pick. So I'm going to put like a little asterisk. But my other thought when I was making this pick was related to Adam Fox. So I'll just for the sake of content, I'll make a different pick than you. Fox, I looked it up. His career high in assists is 63. So I'm going to say he hits 70 assists. I'm going to say he has a big year. He's healthy. He worked out. He's a little stronger. I'm going to say he gets to 70 assists. That's my bold prediction. All right, Coach.
I have 2 predictions.
Before Coach goes, do you want to share coaches from last year? Well, that was the other award. My apologies.
No.
We had seen enough. No. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Don't ruin it.
Sorry.
Which you got 2?
Oh, you guys are ganging up on me. A little side conversation, I see, huh?
You got 2, Coach?
All right. First of all, has Laffy played with Miller and Mika in practice and stuff, or is this just a hypothetical?
Yeah, a couple, but mainly he's been with, when they've been fully healthy, it's been with Trocheck and Panarin.
All right, I'm going to go with Mika, Miller, and Laffy, all 3 30-plus goals.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You got to write these down, PJ, so don't forget.
My 1B is that Shesterkin outscores Rempe.
Points-wise or goals?
Goals.
Oh, my God.
No chance. No chance. Crazy. All right.
No chance. You're crazy.
What was Little Ed's?
His was really outside the box. He says Mika's going to get 15 to 20 breakaway opportunities and actually go 60% of scoring on them. Because remember last year,
I was a year early on the Mika stuff. I thought last year he was going to bounce back and have a big year, but now he has such a bad year that he's an easy bold prediction. But I mean, he was so bad on breakaways last year. There's no way he's going to score 60%. The Little Ed's really.
That's really off the board, but I love it
that's
because
a bold
he was
prediction.
so bad.
That's very bold. 15 breakaways. That's 9 goals, Coach, on 15 breakaways.
That's like Pavel Bure-esque.
That's a lot. That's really like, I would love it. He gets a breakaway every other game. That would be incredible.
Especially like you said, Little Ed said being on the wing too, he might get more opportunity.
Yeah. I love that. That's if he scores 30% on his breakaways, I'll be happy, let alone 60. So, all right. That's some pretty bold predictions there. I love how if I went first instead of PJ, I would have had the laugh pick. But I think is 70 assists enough for Bold? Career high 63.
I mean, that's really good. I mean, how many defensemen get 70 assists? I'd have to look that up. It can't be many.
I'm going 70. All right. Let's move on to our awards. So we're going to cover 5 different awards here. And they're not really awards because nothing's happened, but kind of predictive awards, we'll call them. The breakout player, we're going to start there. So this goes to who you think will take the next step in their development and breakout. They could be a prospect who you think will become an NHL regular, or an NHL regular to a star to a superstar, something like that. So just they take a step in their development. Coach,
So
who's your breakout
do
player?
we even have to ask PJ his?
Right?
It's actually not who you think. But before we go into this, funny comment from our sponsor, Dom Lucarelli. He says on Instagram, "Great stuff tonight, fellas." For a second, I was thinking that PJ should be running the show until he had Rempe on the power play.
I love that. Thanks, Dom, for listening. I am offended that you think PJ should run the show over me, but that's okay. Okay, Coach, who's your breakout player?
That's an interesting one. I'm
PJ
going to go with my boy. I'm going to go with my boy Schneider. I think he's going to come back, and I think he's going to have a big season, maybe push 10 goals and have his breakout season.
I need it.
I love it. That would be great. I'm going to go to Little Ed next. You're going to go last, PJ, because you stole my last pick, and I'm not going to let you steal this one.
Little Ed also had Schneider, so him and his dad and coach are lockstep there too.
Shocker. I got Brett Berard. I said it in one of the Viking videos I did. I said it earlier in this episode. I think Berard can get 15
I think
goals.
the helmet was a little tight.
No, I really liked it. I like Berard's game a lot. I really like it. And now with Sullivan, I just think he's perfect. So I think he can, I think we're looking at, 50 plus games from him this year, establishing himself and, pushing 15 goals in those 50 games, which would be a great pace. But I think he's going to, be around there. I think he's going to really stick when he gets his opportunity, whether it's now or eventually. All right, PJ.
Well, I didn't copy any of you guys.
Good.
This might be a shocker. I wanted to say Morrow so bad, but I'm not sure if he's going to make the team as much as I want him to. So I don't know how much time he's going to get. I'm actually going Rempe.
Ooh.
I have
Interesting.
been super impressed with what I've read about his summer. If you haven't read the article, there was a great piece by Vince Mercogliano in The Athletic. This kid, not only did he stay in Connecticut for all but 2 weeks this summer to work out with Prentice, I mean, he worked out 6 days a week on skills. He worked with Adam Oates. He worked out with the Rangers skill and skating coaches. He worked out with Prentice on skill. Prentice said that he put on just straight 16 pounds of muscle. This kid is doing everything. You got to give him props for how well he is trying to become a legit player in this league. And it shows. Sullivan recognizing it. I said already, you put him in the second power play unit. He looks quicker. He looks better with the puck. He's working on his tips at the end of practices. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much a breakout is, but I can see him getting 10 goals this year.
Yeah.
And being a force. I just think if he can kind of be not only like how he was really good at forechecking before, but if he can add puck control, get in front of the net consistently, tip, be better, getting pucks back out to D. It sounds like those are all things he wants to do.
I want to
know.
Go, Coach.
I want to know. I heard you say that his workout strength coach said he put on 16 pounds of muscle. What did Adam Oates have to say after working with him for a couple of weeks?
So they didn't quote Adam Oates in the article, but Rempe said that Adam Oates gave him tips like doing a different curve on his stick to help him corral the pucks better and hold on to pucks better. So it was really interesting. And allowing him to control the puck around the net and protect it better. So it seems like little things like that on top of tipping pucks that he learned from Kreider that was working with the apprentice camp and just skating. And just seems like all these little things are adding up. I mean, if he can somehow take his body and turning into, I'm not saying he's ever going to be Tate Thompson, no freaking way, but if he could just become a quarter of that, I mean, what a steal they could have.
Now we need to get your wife. What's your wife's name again?
Jenna.
Jenna. I want Jenna to film every game that you're watching. And when Rempe scores, I want to see the video.
What's funny is last year I said Rempe has surprisingly good hands. I made that point, and I agree with what you're saying. I do think he could be that. I don't know if he will be that, but I think he could be a third line, more of like less a Tage Thompson, more of a Tom Wilson, right? But I think part of me, I saw the comment from Mark, keep the elbows in. I almost feel like he should throw less hits in a weird way. Just because I think it's hard for a player of his size to really not get penalties on hits, and he should do more like timely hits to remind the defenseman that he's going to, hit him without necessarily throwing a hit every time he skates by a player. He's not like a Brett Berard who needs to finish every check to show that he's, I don't know, Coach. What do you think of that? I thought of that recently, and I agree.
I agree with that. We said that from day one. He's got to learn when to hold. And
it's almost like just skating by a guy for him is almost as effective as hitting the players because they know what he could do. I don't know. Not in a playoff series, but during the season.
They have the fear now. He doesn't have to go at them. I saw it in the game the other night. He doesn't have to hit the guy. The D gives up the puck a lot quicker than they want to, which is the goal that you have. Exactly. I agree with you. I thought from day one, I watched him in warm-ups and stuff. The kid's skilled. You don't get to that level, again, like we talked about. The fourth line players in the NHL could play hockey. They have hands.
He's not Darren Langdon. He's not.
He's got hands. I just don't think he's got the hockey IQ. I watch him in the game. More often than not, he's next to a winger on his line. He's not reading the play. That's what I see. He's not reading. He's not anticipating. Maybe he can learn that. I don't know. With different coaches, I don't know. But sometimes the players just don't get that, And where I see Edstrom reads the play, anticipates the pass up the wall. Gretzky's saying go to where the puck is going, not where it's been. Like Rempe will chase it around the net instead of going directly to the corner. Stuff like that. Those are little things that hurt you at the NHL level, especially.
That's fair. I should say part of the article.
Maybe he'll come out of it.
He did recognize what you're saying. He said he was learning how to hit and not take himself out of the play and do unnecessary hits. So it seems like he's definitely got a good head on his shoulders and recognizes what he needs to do.
Oh no, I agree
his
with
work
you
ethic is
100%. The kid wants to be there. So he's going to have to fight for it for sure. He wants to be there.
His work ethic is there, Coach.
My question is, does he have the mental aspect? That's important.
That's fair.
We'll see. We felt that way about Carl Hagelin. We felt that way about Carl Hagelin with the mental aspect, and he's got his name on the cup twice, so it can happen, right?
Well,
he can develop it.
But again, he went into a situation where he fit the system. He had a role, and he excelled at it.
Yeah. All right. Emerging leader. What player will take on a leadership role this year unexpectedly? So we're not picking a captain or assistant captain. It has to be somebody you think is going to, step up. So last year, I took a look back. Last year, me and Coach both had Alexei Lafreniere as the pick here, and that didn't happen. Little Ed had Johnny Brodzinski, which did happen. So I want to give Little Ed some props there. I thought he was right? And after listening to our breakout player from last year, which was a disaster, disaster, guys. Cousin Ed, Keandre Miller, breakout player. No. Little Ed, Capo Caco. No.
Gone.
Coach Ed Adam Edstrom out for the year injury. So I will say N/A for that one versus no.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Well, he was at least the closest because Edstrom kind of made the team and made a name for himself at least.
No, but he like missed the season. And Mike, who helped us from Long Island Sports Network, had Zach Jones. So like complete disaster. So when I heard Little Ed take Brodzinski on the emerging leader, I wanted to give him some credit, but he's not here. But when he listens, he'll take it. So that was a good pick. All right. So this year, emerging leader, PJ, let's go. I want Little Ed's pick because he's the one that keeps harping on the importance of a captain and the 4 A's and all that. So who'd he take as his emerging leader?
Well, I'll just say this. Me and him had the same guy, which is, and Allie is going to love this, Will Cooley.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
we had him. We talked about him on our leadership group episode too, that he could be up coach for all 4 of us now then. So there we go. But yeah, I could easily see him, whether it's by example or just bringing a voice to the locker room, definitely could be that guy.
Yeah, well, I feel like he last year did that, Last year he did that.
You watch his highlights. If there's any highlights you see, when they talk about him. Again, JT Miller-esque, throws the body, turns around. If he has to, he drops the gloves. Hard to the net. He does everything you need to do to bring a team on his back and create some havoc and get the blood boiling on everybody. And he did wear the A the other night against the Islanders, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think he, to me, last year was a leader during the turmoil of that season where 100%. It seemed like no player on the team cared. It felt like, for weeks. And he did. It was very evident watching every game, suffering through that Will Cooley cared, and he was good. And I think that in and of itself makes him a leader, even if he doesn't say a word in the locker room as a second-year player. So I think, Coach, if we took Cooley last year, that we'd be saying right now, hey, that was a good pick. So I don't know how bold it is to say it this year, but I do think he's getting to the point of wearing a letter. And
well, you didn't say it had to be a bold prediction. You said who's an emerging leader.
No. I'm just saying I think he already is an emerging leader. So I think he's going to thrive.
I think he's going to thrive watching how JT Miller acts and leads.
Yeah. Well, if he can learn from JT's mistakes earlier in his career and not make those, not that they're the same or anything, but they are similar players.
Yeah,
he's way ahead of JT. He's way ahead of JT Miller in the beginning of his career, mentally.
Yeah, exactly. He's more coachable and all that, but he can learn from his style of play and his fire. I think Cooley adds just a little bit of fire to his game. It's interesting. He's got fire in his game, but you don't necessarily see it on his face or anything. So if he can just add that element. What's that?
When he scores, he's pretty, primal.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you see him talking in interviews or even on the bench, he's pretty stoic. Like he just kind of laser focused on what he's doing. So definitely not as emotional, like hot-headed like JT is.
Yeah. All right. So across the board there, teacher's pet. So what player will emerge as Coach Sullivan's favorite, or another way to put it, the Brett Howden to his David Quinn?
That just gets under your skin so bad.
No, it's just funny. It's a meme.
Another guy on the Stanley Cup.
I know. Trust me. I'm thinking, who's going to be on the cup first? Kreider, Miller, Kakko. Who's going to get there? One of those guys is going to win the cup before the
Rangers. Let's not go there tonight. Come on.
Anyway, well, Coach he eggs me on. He makes the comment. It leads to these thoughts. I start to spiral. All right, teacher's pet. Coach, go ahead. You're a coach. So who's the teacher's pet for Sullivan?
I mean, I'm going to have to lean towards third, fourth liner. I'm going to go with I'm going to stay with Sherry. If Sherry makes the team and stays there, that's going to be his go-to guy.
A little nepotism.
It's going to be his third go-to guy,
Yeah, total nepotism.
Look,
I don't know.
every sport has that. A coach moves, he brings a player that
Yeah,
is going to do what he expects, and that's what
I
he
like
wants,
it.
you know?
No, it's a good pick, and yeah, Oscar said earlier in the chat about Thanksgiving dinner or something with Shiri and Sullivan. PJ, give me Little Ed's.
He also had Sherry. Shocker.
Oh my God, you guys, did you work on this together?
He clearly did.
I haven't seen Eddie since, well, I saw him the other night, but we didn't talk about it.
So I wanted to take Cooley again, but for the sake of it, I skipped him. I'm going Adam Edstrom. I just think, when Edstrom's going to come in, he was injured last year. He earned a spot. He's got a little something to prove. I think when Sullivan sees this kid forecheck and PK and work hard the way he does that, he's going to really trust him. Sullivan talked about needing to trust the bottom six guys and really the whole team, but like needing to trust them and be reliable. Nick talked about that in the Pittsburgh episode we did on the rivalry tour, how Sullivan seems to really focus on young players that are reliable. And I'm big on, I think Edstrom's going to do it. I think he's going to come in ready to keep that spot. All right, PJ, what about you?
It's not a
I
bad
was
one.
just say, just to top you off there, the buzzword, almost every interview Sullivan does, he mentions those kind of bottom six players, conscientious play. Says it every time.
Yep.
It's responsible, does the right things, all the little things.
And those Swedes are conscientious, so.
Absolutely. Jesper Fast. This should be funny. When I was going through your document, I read this as teacher's pet, like who's going to be Coach Ed's favorite, not Sullivan's.
Oh, that's even better. We should do
that's
that.
what it was at first. And
we should do no. We should do a segment next week. Who predict who's going to be in the doghouse the most during the season? You, me, and Little Ed pick who's going to be in Coach Ed's doghouse the most, or we text each other privately, note it, and then bring it up later in the season so he doesn't get swayed.
I mean, I got to say, I'm looking at this lineup. I don't really see anybody that I'm going to be picking on. We'll see how it goes.
You say that now.
Yeah,
I know. I don't see it right now. I don't see it.
Yeah, I can pull up
that's
audio
gonna be a tough,
of you talking
that's gonna
about
be a tough
Keandre
prediction.
Miller that you'd be shocked about. So I could pull up audio 2-3 years ago.
I love after that playoff run, I was high on him.
I know. So you never know is my point. One of these guys is going to be – look, Heal's gone. Bushnevich is gone. Miller's gone. Like you got to – someone's got to be in.
All my doghouse guys.
It'll be Mika's always
all of them have been shipped out. Yeah, Mika would be in there.
Well, it was hard last year. It was hard last year because we said it multiple times. Everybody
except for Cooley.
Other than Cooley.
All right, PJ, who's your pick?
I went Radish. I thought I could just. I remember Pittsburgh writer, I think it was Jesse Marshall of the Athletic, saying that Sullivan likes guys who remind him of
how many articles do you read a day?
You read the Pittsburgh article?
Do you work for a living?
I consume Rangers. I'm like, did you ever see that Pokemon meme where the thing is sucking in everything? That's me with all the Rangers stuff.
That's why you're here, buddy.
Articles and YouTube videos can you watch?
PJ is our AI. Like, PJ, summarize for me articles about Sullivan in the Athletic. Well,
I'm happy to read everything and watch everything for you to inform you guys. I love it. It's my wind down at the end of the night before I get into bed. I take everything in and I dream about it. I let it soak in.
Yeah.
But I think Radish is just going to do like that whole conscientious play is him to a T. He skates in straight lines, is defensively responsible, goes to the right areas, can pop in.
And he got 2 years, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they're high on him. They
he really good analytically, was good with Washington's. And a lot of people forget he almost scored 20 in Chicago a few years back. So I could see it.
PJ, can you summarize for me all articles in the Athletic mentioning Taylor Radish in the last 12 months?
No, not all. I think, frankly, there probably isn't a lot about Radish because he's not really like an exciting player. I can't.
PJ, this is what I need you to do.
You're supposed to say, good question. Here's a summary.
EA the PA, she goes to me, Dad, you should read this book, blah, blah, blah. I go, Aaron, just highlight all the good stuff and send me the book. So that's what she did. Now, what I need you to do, PJ, is to watch all these videos, clip segments, and send me the clips. Like when you hear those nice buzzwords that Sullivan says that I love, shoot me that clip. Not the whole interview, just the clip.
No, you need to watch them. It's a treat.
No, I do.
I
gotta try to remember to watch them. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
maybe instead of watching Seinfeld, I'll watch that one night.
Yeah,
it's a treat.
It really is. I mean,
I love watching his interviews.
He really,
even when he was on Pittsburgh, I used to watch him. I used to watch interviews of him, and
we were watching.
He's a very intelligent.
We were watching the game the other day, and feels like, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's the Rangers' new coach. She goes, didn't he coach the team already? I was like, no, that was Quinn. And then they showed Quinn. She was like, wait, isn't that the same guy?
How funny was that tweet of like that picture
so
of Quinn, and you see Gabe Perreault, JT Miller, Mika, like all around him, and like they were drawing up a play. Like, what universe is this?
Oh my God.
But Hirsch says about the fourth line that he says, do you think it's like a circus sideshow? I don't. I think, first of all, Carrick is not that big, but he can play well. And we talked about Edstrom has some smarts.
Let's just say that Carrick was a bright spot last year as well.
He was great.
Yeah, definitely was.
No, but I love that they're a circus sideshow, coach, the fourth line. I can't wait for Robrick. I need Kenny Albert to say it. When he pronounced Hemelash during the game, I was like, this guy is taking it seriously, replacing Sam Rosen. Like, that is – I did not know his name is pronounced Hemelash. I just read it, and I've been calling him Schmalar in my head, like, as I read it. Hemelash. So I don't know how to say Robrick or Rubrick or whatever. But when he takes that spot – I'm in.
We were babbling that rubric all the time. And let me tell you something. I did listen to Dave Maloney on NHL Network today, PJ, so give me a little credit. Now that I got Sirius Radio. He said, remember we were at the game at the Prospects? The smallest guy was Perreault. Everybody else was like over 6'2".
Yeah.
He said the Rangers are a big, big team right now.
They're trying to be. They're trying to be. All right, sophomore slump. What player will take a step back and not meet or exceed expectations? It could be a young player you think will stall, or a veteran who you think will regress based on success they had last year. A little bit difficult going into the season. But I want to just play a clip from last year when we talked about the sophomore slump, just for Coach before he goes.
Sophomore slump, so who's going to take a step back or not meet their expectations this year? It could be a young player you think is going to stall in their development, or a veteran you think will regress. So this is a tough one. I think it's a tough one. Coach, who you got, though?
I'm going to go with Heat.
Well, Heedle played 6 games last year and 5 playoff games, so 11 total games. It didn't score a goal. So how can he regress from that? Is he going to play less than 11 games and score negative goals?
Is it?
I don't understand.
Maybe he's going to put the.
He's got nowhere to go.
I don't know who else to pick. I don't feel anybody else is going to go backwards. I don't want to just say a player.
So going into the season, you, like many of us, struggled with picking a sophomore slump player because we didn't think anyone else was going to go backwards. This year, I feel like the whole team went backwards, and I don't even know how can I say someone's going to be worse than last year.
Right.
I don't even know. It's the complete opposite, but I just thought that was funny that going into the year, Coach, you had struggled so hard with this that you picked Heedle, who didn't score a goal the year before that. Because everyone else looked like they weren't going to struggle, and the whole team struggled. So what do you got this year?
All right, that's why I'm not on NHL Network.
No, I wasn't saying it like that. I thought it was, first of all, I thought it was funny you picked Heedle because 90% of that pick was to troll me. 100%. Like 90% of it was to troll me. 10% was your analysis. But
why? I was wrong about Heedle? How many games did he play?
No, you could have picked anyone on the team. I mean, I feel like he improved from the year before. He might be one of the only guys who did. But anyway, it wasn't that. It was more so that nobody you didn't think anyone was going to regress, like me, like at Little Ed. This is tough.
I don't know.
Who's going to be worse? Who's going to be worse?
I don't
It's
know.
hard.
I'm having trouble. You want to call Panarin not getting 90 points regressing, maybe?
I mean, he had 120, and then last year he had 90 or 89 or something like that.
All right, so if he gets 70, is that calling a regression?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
If he gets 70, that's a huge disappointment.
All right, I'm going to say
Huge.
Panarin 75 points.
Ooh.
In a contract year, that's very bold. And
I don't
bad.
want it to happen, but out of all the players, I don't see any kind of a regression other than that.
Well,
Well,
Coach,
we're gonna hold on. We're gonna have that's the exact same thing you just said last year.
God, don't say it again. That means we're in for this same thing again.
We're gonna be clipping it again.
Oh,
I mean, 75 points isn't a bad season. It's not like
No, it is for
he's
him.
going to
It's
get
bad.
50.
for him, yeah. Unless
I
he's
know
hurt.
for him, but it's still
What if-
contributing to the team.
What about Little Ed?
Chris. He leaves out the only plays 50 games.
That's
That would
possible.
make sense.
Yeah, exactly. 75 points in 50 games. Little Ed.
Little Ed, he said nobody. He said NA.
Okay.
He doesn't think there's anyone. I mean, and factually, he's probably for the most part right. Because other than Cooley, who could really be that much worse?
I know.
That's tough. I had a really tough time with this one. Plus,
What
I
would
don't
you
like
take?
to think negatively before the season.
Who'd you take?
This is going to be, you guys aren't going to like this one, but I just really couldn't pick anybody. So I went, for the reasons we talked about earlier, I went Schneider. Because if he's going to be stuck on the third pair again, I don't think he's going to go backwards, but I think like the words you said, stall. So I thought maybe he's just going to be stuck kind of where he's been. That was my reasoning. I don't want to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But if I had to pick somebody, that's where I went.
Wow, PJ is really upset about this. Like this question. Should we delete this next year? We can remove it, so we're not.
Too negative.
Well, you got to be objective, right?
I understand.
So,
I'm
so
just
look,
joking.
this was a tough one for me because I just think so many people had down years last year, and I expect most of those players to bounce back under Sullivan and have better years. And I don't think I can pick someone who regressed last year to continue to I don't know. It's just like weird. So I went with like a lesser guy who I thought impressed me, who could potentially I could see falling out of favor. It's kind of lame, but I went with Vakanainen. I don't think he's going to do it, but to me, he was super impressive last year. I feel like I'm one of the only people that feel that way. But I was
loved him.
really
I said it.
Yeah, you've been on board when I say it. You support me, but
I love
I feel-
Vakanainen's play.
I feel like he could skate. He's got like a two-way defenseman body, like a Forsling type body out there. He could skate well. His passes are surprisingly good. I was expecting him to be horrible when he was thrown in and he was the 7th D in Anaheim and just thrown into that trade. So when I was pleasantly surprised with his play. So I could see a situation where he gets some run in the beginning and we start to see a 7th D type guy instead of what I saw last year. I could see that. And to me, that would be a slump.
I think
But I could. But like, who else? Yeah, who else are you going to pick here? Like, you took Panarin. I don't see that. Panarin's trying to get paid, dude. Kaprizov just got $17 million.
Look, I'm just throwing it out there. It's a whim. I don't want it to happen.
He farts
think
out
it's gonna
points,
happen?
He has 4-point nights like randomly on a Tuesday, Like, I just don't see it.
I just thought about the only other one that just came to me actually was maybe Quick. Maybe he's 40.
Right.
Kind of remember Biron. I can
can
just
see that.
As a bad, he loses a little bit and Duran's up later in the year.
I can see it. I can see it. That's not a bad one. But yeah, I don't know.
I
mean, go down the list. Trocheck had a worse year. Zibanejad had a bad year. JT, I don't see it. He's gonna be a beast this year. He's gonna be captain.
on his chest. And
Laffy was terrible last year. Cooley's not gonna have a bad year. He's gonna sleepwalk to 20 goals like last year.
That's who was playing top 6 all year.
Yeah. I think who's gonna slump? I mean, they all slumped already. Fox slumped. I can't even take Fox. Gavrikov's brand new. I don't know. It's tough. Shesterkin wasn't that good last year either, so I can't even take him.
Oh,
Sorry,
boy.
PJ, I had to throw that in there. All right. Major that brings us to our next topic. Major award winners. So look, whether the Rangers will have one or not, they have had some recently. Fox won the Norris, obviously, and Shesterkin won a Vezina. So is there going to be a Ranger who wins a major award? If you don't think so, who's most likely to do it? Is how we do it. Okay. So PJ, I've been going to you last because you stole my bold prediction. So I'll go to you first here for this
I
one.
think everyone's thinking I'm going to say Shesty, and I definitely think he can win this Vezina this year. But I'm going Fox winning the Norris. I just think everything we kind of talked about with him having a bigger summer, wanting to prove himself at the Olympics. And I mean, don't forget, he's finished top 5 in the Norris already 4 times in his career.
Yep.
This is insane. I think only 6 defensemen in NHL history have done that before the age of 26. So I just think he's in for a big bounce back.
Where'd you read that?
He read that in the Athletic.
It was on Twitter today. It was in another article about Fox. Just like it was a tweet about it that someone threw out. So. It all sticks. And it comes back out at the perfect time.
It's true though. It's funny. Yeah, I like that pick. I could see it. I could totally see it. I mean, for me, it's either
as long
that
as
or
Cale
Igor.
McCarr's in the league, I don't see Fox beating Cale McCarr. Unless Cale McCarr, God forbid, gets hurt, I don't see it happening.
Well, look what Hirsch said. Did you
Cale
see that?
McCarr's too dynamic, and he's too.
Did you see that, Coach?
Pretty good
Hirsch says.
defensively.
You see Hirsch's comment.
Thinks I spent too much time reading Rangers articles. Why do I want to watch Cale McCarr highlights?
Well, he's saying
care
Cale
about him.
McCarr is going to win the Norris, but he's not going to win it every year. I disagree because the Norris is one of those trophies that they spread the wealth a little. I feel like they don't. It's not always the same guy. It's different.
Selke
is usually the same guy.
There's a lot of guys that had runs. Cale McCarr's at that level to me.
But like Fox could have won it, and I think in 21-22, he had a phenomenal season, or 22-23, I forget which one. And it was just so after his Norris that he got like second or third in the voting. It just
look. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to say he'll never win it. He might win it next year, but I don't. That's a good pick for you. Whatever.
He could win it. He could. He's up there. He's top 5 every year, so he could. But I went Igor. I think with a revamped defensive structure, Igor is going to be better, and I think it's very possible he wins the Vezina Trophy. Like I don't know. I might place a futures on it. I think it's possible. He did not have a good season. He just got a huge contract, and he's a pretty competitive guy. So. I don't know, man. I think with better defense in front of him, he's not going to give up those easy goals if he doesn't have to work so hard to make these acrobatic saves all the freaking time. He gives up easy goals and falls asleep, but I think that'll be lessened with more structure. So I'm going Igor Vezina. Coach, what about you?
I love it.
I got the same thing. I'm going to say I'm leaning way towards that.
Yeah,
I think they got a solid
favorite,
team. I think last year was just a perfect storm. The Trouba shit, the trade deadline, Igor's contract, Laffy got his contract. Everything was just looking back, it was just a shit show. Everything transition mentally.
Understatement.
Everybody forgets the mental aspect of pro sports, and it was just crazy. Yeah. Hard to hold the locker room together.
I said it. 40% of the team got turned over, Coach. I mean, that's insane. It's insane. I think 8 guys who started the year, or 8 guys from maybe I'm wrong on the number. I don't remember. It was like 23. Yeah, from the conference finals team to now, like 8 or 10 of those players are gone, replaced. It's crazy.
Even the start of last year, it's a ton of guys gone. It's wild.
Yeah. All right. What did Little Ed have?
He actually, believe it or not, had Fox winning the Norris. I was very proud.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Fox, you know why Little Ed picked that? And I would say this to him if he were here, so I'm not saying this behind his back. But he picked that because he saw those videos of him working out in the gym. That's the only reason he picked that for sure. He was impressed. And I was too. I think that's huge. But he did need to get stronger, and it looks like he actually did the work and recognized that. So good for him.
I'm telling you, when I saw him skating, I think it was the game against. Did he play against Boston?
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
I saw him going after the puck. I don't think I've seen him in 5 years skating like that. So to me, it was noticeable just watching that game, and it was a preseason game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does.
There's any player that needed a long off season, it was him.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully, so I think Sully will do the right thing with his time. So we'll see what happens.
Hirsch, we're already like 80 minutes behind schedule on this episode, and you want to bring up Brett Howden 2 hours in?
We know we like getting off the rails.
All right. So over under we're doing now, right? So PJ's going to rapid
it's nice
fire.
to see. It's nice to see we have people listening and aren't saying, "When is this show going to end?"
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys done?
I'm impressed that people sticking around for. I love it that they're into it for the 2 hours or more. So keep it going.
Yeah. All right. So over under. So PJ's going to rapid fire out, I think 6 stats, any kind of stats. We don't know what they are, right? Coach and I don't know. He's going to say it. We're going to say over or under. Then he's going to tell us his, and then we're going to go to the next one. We're going to do this one quick. So, Coach, don't take too long thinking. Okay, it's supposed to be a quick reactionary type thing.
No explanation.
Right. No explanation. Just answer.
All right.
All right.
First one.
Hey,
So you have to say Cousin Ed over under or Coach, so we know who goes first.
All right. So first one, I did over under Mika 35 goals. Cousin Ed.
Under.
Coach.
over.
I will also say over. I think he's going to have a big year.
No explanation. Just go.
All right. Fox. Over under 75 points. Coach Ed.
Over.
Over.
Yeah. I was about to say you better have over. I'm also going to have over for all the and then Lafreniere over under 55 points.
Over.
Over.
I will also say over. Igor over under 35 wins. Cousin Ed.
Over.
Over.
I will make it a three-peat. Also say over. Rempe over under 5 goals.
Over. I'm going
to go under.
Coach. I had a feeling, Coach, you're going to say under because you said Igor was going to score more than him.
Yeah.
I'm going over because I picked him earlier than he was going to. Last one, I went team-wide, actual standings points, over under 94 points for the team.
Oh, over.
Over.
Oh,
What did they have last year?
I think they only had 89 or 88.
That's not that far behind 94.
No, they were. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not.
That's
but,
three.
I mean,
That's 3 Keandre Miller passes away from 94 points.
they were three wins away from making the playoffs. But I mean, it's just the East is so there's so much.
No explanations.
I know. I'm just saying in general. I was explaining how I got to the over under number.
Oh, okay.
I think you were pretty conservative in those. I gotta say,
I
you were
was
conservative.
trying to be. I'm not a huge gambler, so I'm not great at making lines. But
No, your lines were good, but I think you were a little conservative. Like Laffy 55 points is to me is an easy over.
yeah, I should have
Right,
said 60, but
Yeah, 60 is a little tougher. And then the Mika one was good, 35 goals. That's a good number. And then what was the second one?
there's Fox 75 points.
Yeah, I mean that's like what he normally does. So it's right? Like what do you have last year?
He's going to blow it away or
He
not?
had 69 or something, or 60 last year, right? Yeah,
61. Okay, I guess he's never had 75.
Yep.
I just looked it up. 74, 72, and 73.
Yeah,
3 straight
that's
years. So okay. All right, PJ, I'll give you some props.
All right.
He's going over. He's going over. I said 70 assists, so he better go over.
Seems like Chris, Mark, and Hirsch are all were pretty on board with us, except for Hirsch on and under. I don't know the timing of which under he had, but we seem to be
probably Rempe.
Yeah.
I bet your Hirsch doesn't like Rempe.
No, judging from that comment earlier with the clown show, but
I mean, I think I had Rempe getting like 10 goals last year, so
Yeah, I think he could get 10 goals, Rempe.
I think he can, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, but he'll get more than 5. He'll get 6 or 7 at least. All right. Favorites.
Confirmation.
I knew it. That's so
boy.
obvious. How did I know that? I've met him twice, and he's,
Yeah, he'll be at the suite, so you can give him.
Oh, he will?
Yeah, I hope Rempe scores during that game. It'd be great.
It would be.
Yeah,
crowd
last year
would
Rempe
not-
didn't even dress.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't make the opening night lineup. That's very true. He will this year, though.
All right. So now we're going to do our favorites. This is something Little Ed added last year. I like it. Currently, who's your favorite forward and favorite defenseman on the team? I think it's interesting. A lot of new faces, so hard to, pick a guy who's been here a while, but there are some continuity. All right, so we'll do favorite forward. Sorry, you can't pick Igor for either of these, PJ, but who's your favorite forward on the team right now?
I say it more as I kind of said earlier, just hoping to manifest it, and just because we need it to work and I want it to work. It's Lafreniere. When he's at his best, I love watching him play. Like that 23-24 season in the playoffs, he was an absolute joy, and it was so excited to see a top prospect hitting. So I'm just hoping that it happens again and he's back to wherever. But I do, when he's on, some of the goals or plays he makes are just holy shit moments, and I want to see more.
Yeah, I like the pick. I'm going JT Miller. Not for me. No, I just love the energy and the feistiness, the fight in the Four Nations. The Rangers culture is so bad that just seeing that we have a player like that who's willing to take a bullet, it's just nice. Like I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. Like that's just the way I see it. So for me, he's my favorite right now. Laffy was, I think, last year my favorite. I don't remember, but go JT. Coach, what about you?
I got JT also. I mean, it's hard not to pick him in my opinion, but he developed into quite the consummate player. 100 points, tough, physical. I don't want to say he's Mark Messier as a captain, but he's it's like comparing someone to Lawrence Taylor. It's close, but it's not. And that's JT Miller. He could score 100 points. He could fight. He could do everything in the game. He's gonna spear the guy when he's got to spear him behind the play. All that stuff. He's just that old school hockey player of this era. You can't be old school anymore, but of this era, he's that kind of player to me.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's Mark Messier.
No, I like the comparison, but yeah, when you say a name like Mark Messier, it becomes difficult because he's the captain and 6 cups and like all-time
Well,
points.
I think I made it clear. I'm not
forth.
saying he is him.
No, I know, but you're right in the comparison. It's and people do that all the time in football with LT. I like that analogy.
Maybe the Mark Messier patch is going to be the reason why they win the cup again.
Yeah, right. Imagine.
All
right.
Believe it or not, I thought he was going JT because he loves JT. He went Will Cooley.
I see that totally. Yeah,
maybe Allie's rubbing off on him.
I mean, Will Cooley's easy to like, so. All right, favorite defenseman right now. Go to Little Ed first on this since he's the defensive guy here.
He left us hanging. He said to be determined. I guess after last year, wants to see who emerges because I think he was disgusted at the D.
I mean, that's not a bad answer because there's too many new guys to really say, Gavrikov could easily become my favorite defenseman.
He will.
I haven't seen him play. Schneider's my boy, but I'll stay with Schneider.
Adam Fox, dude. I mean, it's easy. Like, I love Adam Fox. He's a guy who wasn't drafted by the team, but only wanted to play here. He grew up a Rangers fan. He's from New York. He wins a Norris Trophy. He's one of the best defensemen in the league. I know he had a bad year last year, but how the hell are we not going to pick Adam Fox as our favorite defenseman?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he's the franchise player. We need him to be.
I'll switch my pick.
Yeah, it's tough.
I I have Fox too. Just like you said, I think we're spoiled because of how good he is. Leach is the tip top, but Fox is doing things stat wise at least that Leach did too. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, he's right there with Leach in a lot of stats so far in his career. But listen, he had such a bad year last year. Honestly, it really was not a good year for Fox.
But it's
so I think it leaves a taste in our mouth a little bit that we forget. Is my point.
Oh yeah, but I mean, look at we say bad year, but he still was top 10 in D in points. That's a bad year
for Fox. I said not a bad year.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. But that's what it's incredible. His floor is so high.
When did he first score a goal last year? What game number?
I don't know the game number, but it was an empty netter. I think it was
a game like 32.
Yeah, he did score a lot towards the end of the year. I think he ended up with 10 goals. So
right, he didn't score a goal for 30-something games, whatever it was, and at that point, it had been a calendar year since he had scored a goal. I remember saying it's like, or whatever it was. It was like almost a full year between goals, and it was an empty net goal.
Yeah, because he didn't score that playoff run because he hurt his knee. Yeah, so you're right. It was crazy.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
It was a bad year for him. Come on.
I'm a big Ranger fan all my life, but like Mark and PJ take it to the nth level, man.
That's why me and Mark hit it off.
Where were Mark the other night? I go, there's something wrong with you, man.
Why? What's wrong with him?
He's got like the cell phone cover, the watch band, the sneakers, the hat, the tattoo. I'm like,
the only thing I don't have is the tattoo, but I'm right there.
He's going to be on a commercial next.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mark's great.
We're all like that, Coach.
Yeah, you got to bleed blue.
I know,
right?
but I never, now that I know people like that, it's like,
The energy, I mean, it's pour so much energy and it's fun. It just makes it more exciting when they do.
I'm not taking it away. I think it's
all
great.
right. So I'm looking this up. His first goal of the season last year was against Buffalo, game number 28 of the season.
The empty netter. I was right.
Okay. Yeah, it was the empty netter. I remember it was an empty netter. The year before that, okay, in 3 rounds of the playoffs, he had 0 goals. So even including that. And during the regular season, he scored in the final game of the season. Okay, so that was on.
Yeah, but I kind of remember
April 15th.
I remember picking on him, and you guys said he had a good playoff run because I said he was tired in the playoffs.
Well, he hurt his knees, so that he was.
Again, my point is you can't wear this kid down.
April 15th, okay, he scored of 2024, and then his next goal was
at December
11th of 2024. So he went 8 months without a goal. I mean, look, a lot of that was off season, but I mean that's just like it was. But they had 3 playoff rounds.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at
PJ's the Rangers version of Rain Man.
But no, I put it up. Mark said it, and he probably will. And yes, Hirsch, there was an article about it, about Fox donating money for every goal and assist he had to ALS Research. His father-in-law has
great
ALS
stuff.
Really cool. Shout out to him. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think we forget how good he is and how good he can be. And to see the effort that he put in this offseason, and he wants to make that Olympic team, and his coach is the coach of the USA. And yeah, I think the stars are aligning for him to bounce back and remind us, that he is our favorite.
I think he did. He's not stupid. He probably saw all that crap people were talking.
No, he went to Harvard, right?
Yeah.
No, he's not stupid, PJ.
It's
It's been established.
The opposite.
Okay. So standings predictions, and let's wrap this up. We've been going for a while here.
Yeah, because we're over 2 hours. You told me it'd be 90 minutes.
Well, that's on point. I mean, that's on point. It's on point. Every episode, this is a long form podcast, and emphasis on long.
I'm fine with it.
You guys are the ones that
are dreaming about that shit, but
Yeah. All right. So let's start with PJ. We didn't ask Little Ed this, but he'll chime in on Instagram. So PJ, where are the Rangers finishing this year? Take it wherever you want. If you want to just do regular season or playoff, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, when I was a guest on Live from the Blue Seats podcast with Coach, we did this, so I'm going to keep it the same as I said there. I see the Rangers third in the Metro. I see the Capitals falling down. They'll probably still make it, but I think the Rangers are going to surprise people. And I think they're going to match up with the Devils, who are going to get number 2. And I think the Rangers are going to have some redemption from 2023 and beat the Devils in that first round. Get that pit out of our stomachs from that bad series. I don't know from there what happens, but I'm hoping the momentum builds, and we'll see. But I want it to happen.
You still have a pit in your stomach from that series 3 years ago.
I hate the Devils, and those first 2 in Jersey, and just coming back and losing that. I gotta say, Schmidt and goal. Come on.
I gotta say, I love the optimism, but I'm going to be a little more optimistic. I look at the Metro, and I don't believe in Washington. I just do not believe in Washington. You guys know how I feel about Logan Thompson, and I think they have a good goaltending duo, but there's nothing special about it. Ovi's a year older. A lot of their young guys hit last year. I don't expect that to be all, who those players are. So I think Washington will drop. Carolina just added Keandre Miller. Now, look, I know a lot of people are saying that he's a perfect fit for Brind'Amour and he plays this thing. The guy turned the puck over so many times last year that it cost us points. I can't imagine that he's going to flip a switch and all of a sudden reach his potential immediately. Could that happen over some time? Sure, I think it's possible with a good coach like Brind'Amour that he does. I am not ever scared of Carolina. I don't know. Nikolai Ehlers doesn't scare me. Keandre Miller helps me. Their goaltending is still iffy. The Islanders suck. The Devils, Markstrom and Allen. I think the Rangers win the Metro. Honestly. Ooh. I think Igor Shesterkin and Mike Sullivan.
I'm with you.
And Adam Fox.
I'm with you.
I think the Rangers win the Metro, honestly. And I think they make a run.
I think they're going to be physical. I think they're going to defensively, again, if everybody's healthy, they got a strong depth of defense, and I think they're going to beat the hell out of some teams. I'm sorry.
I know. I don't want to sound like a homer.
It's going to be a more physical team.
I'm trying to be objective, but I could see Carolina winning it. I could see that, but I don't know. They don't really scare me that much, dude. At some point, Carolina has got to have a player on their team that strikes a little fear into you. I guess Sebastian Aho is the closest thing they have to that, but I don't know. Keandre Miller is going to make a difference. He's going to play with Jacob Slavin. Is that really happening?
I want to know, you just said to me that people are saying he fits into Brind'Amour's system. To me, he's the opposite of everything Brind'Amour believes in.
I know. I agree with you.
I don't see
because
that.
He can skate.
Who says that?
It's because Coach's raw abilities are, he's got raw abilities. His skating. If you just took Keandre Miller piece by piece, if you did it piece by piece, you'd think this guy was a superstar. All right, we like our hockey players big. He's big. We like our hockey players fast. He's fast. We like our hockey players to stick handle well. Okay, he can do that. He can rush the puck. He can poke check. One by one, he's got everything. But like Little Ed always says, he doesn't have the toolbox, right, to put them all in. So I think with Brind'Amour is going to get frustrated.
He doesn't have it up here.
He's going to get frustrated with Keandre, dude. I think.
100%.
I do.
Well, like you said, the whole East is open. I mean, look at the Atlantic. Now with Barkov injury and Kachuk out till mid-December, Florida's still going to be very good, but that's a big hit. Toronto got worse.
What do you mean? Anton Lundell is going to win the Selke, dude. You know how these things go.
Oh, God. But, I mean, Boston is not what they used to be. Toronto got worse. Tampa's good, but getting older. I mean, it really is open if the Rangers do push. And I think people are underestimating the Sullivan factor. They really are.
Who's really going to push next year in the East? I think 2 teams. Montreal and Ottawa.
Yeah,
Montreal's going to depend on the goaltending, but Ottawa's already got the goaltending. I don't know. It's going to be. I think those two teams are going to be good and push in the Atlantic, but I think the Rangers win the Metro. Man, I don't know. I'm going to just call it, Coach. I'm glad you support me on that.
I don't disagree with that. I was gonna say it, but I was afraid to say it. I was gonna say second because I was afraid to say it.
Well, when New Jersey, I mean, does New Jersey scare you? I know they're the darling rebuilders.
They don't scare me, and I don't see Jack Hughes playing the full season again. And I don't believe that Luke Hughes is this kind of a defenseman that they're raving to be already.
Coach, $9 million a year for Luke
I don't
Hughes.
see that.
Adam Fox makes 9.5. I know he signed it well before and the cap was lower and all that, but just like what? Like nine. I know the cap's going up. PJ, $9 million for Luke Hughes.
Wasn't last year his first year?
Second, I think.
His first full season?
Probably his first full, yeah.
Yeah. So how does he warrant $9 million?
They're betting on his potential. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
That's a big gamble, $9 million. I know the cap's going up.
I think they want to make Jack happy and then bring Quinn. They're trying to get Quinn over, obviously. Probably.
How are they going to afford that? Well,
the cap's going up a lot.
He's sure.
This is what they're thinking. In 3 years, the cap's going to be 120 something million or 116 million, and 9 million is going to be nothing for a player who they expect Luke Hughes to be in 3 years. That's the reason they signed that. Right now, he's not worth that money. But that's how the Devils do business. They did it with Jack Hughes. They gave him 8x8. But I mean, my problem with giving Luke Hughes that money is he hasn't accomplished anything. It's not like he's proven to be an NHL.
That's what I'm saying.
Star or like honestly, to me, he was very inconsistent last year. Most Devils fans I speak to say that they like his potential, but he hasn't established himself as a top pairing guy yet. He probably will be that. He's alleged, his potential could get there. But Fox, when he signed, coming off his ELC, he had, I believe, PJ, a Norris Trophy, right?
Second year.
I mean, he had a Norris Trophy. So, he got 9.5. I don't know. If Fox signed right now, granted, off his ELC, he'd probably get 11 and a half, not 9.5.
Yeah, but even giving Keandre, what did Keandre get? 7.5?
$7.5 million for Keandre. That's worse than
far from an established defenseman. I don't know.
Dude, Keandre 7.5 is crazy.
I don't get it.
That's
big.
Bananas
that's a big gamble to me.
For 2 years, that would be fine for Keandre, but the term too, locking him in, it's very risky.
I mean, good luck.
So
I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it because it's going to hurt them.
Yeah, I don't know. Those, I know Chris put in the chat, great contract for Luke Hughes. I don't know. To me, it could be a great contract. In 4 years, we might look and be like, oh, that was smart. The Devils locked him up. It's very possible. But there's just as good a chance that they're like, oh, we have a fourth defenseman here on a $9 million a year contract. That's what happened to Jacob Trouba, right? The Rangers gave him $8 million a year at 25 years old. And that looked like maybe it was a little high, but this guy's going to be a beast, first round pick early. And then Rangers fans could not wait to get rid of this guy 3 years into that deal, so I don't know. I'm just not, I don't know. That's a lot of money to give a developing player. He's still very much developing. What they should have done maybe is 5 years, 6.5 or something like that. Then I'd be like, okay, that's a great contract, but
maybe that's what they want.
Yeah, I know. And I also thought about it. He's making more than Jack Hughes. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, they're good when they're healthy, but obviously that's the operative word.
It's also goaltending, PJ.
Yeah, I know. Markstrom is very inconsistent.
It's goaltending.
And he's getting older, too. He's going to be 35, 36 now?
I wouldn't be shocked if the Devils missed the playoffs next year. I really I wouldn't be shocked. They did it 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I think the Rangers are going to beat up on them. I'm not saying they're going to walk all over them. I think the Rangers are going to play a more physical forechecking game like we keep talking about. And I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I think they're going to compete well. I don't.
Yeah.
I see them second, possibly knocking on the door at first.
Yeah, they're definitely
Yeah.
going to be a lot more fun to watch, the Rangers. I think they're going to be a lot more physical, in your face. Hopefully the days of the soft Rangers are done.
Well, we'll see what happens. But that's, looks like 2 out of 3 of us said that. PJ with the more realistic prediction, but I think it is realistic. The Rangers won the President's Trophy, not long ago. They did turn over a lot of the team, but the core players that were successful that year, Panarin, Trocheck, Zibanejad, Kreider's gone, but Fox, Shesterkin, they're all here, and they have a new coach, and I expect them to be motivated.
Their top 6, their top D pair, and their goalie rival any single team in the league. It's just the bottom 6 forwards and bottom 2 D pairs that are going to make or break it.
And
I think that's on every team.
But you know what that is, and Coach,
that's on every contending team.
Coach, we can end here. But you know what that is, PJ? How you overcome that? And this is my opinion, coaching. Right? Like those finding the right mix, getting the most out of guys who are on the brink or whatever. That's coaching to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where the coaching comes in. Like
100%.
JT Miller scoring 90 points isn't coaching. Like you expect that. Like Parsonen becoming a legit third line center could hinge on how Mike Sullivan coaches him. So we have the best coach in the league. After Cooper and how many coaches are better than Sullivan?
2.
I would give Cooper the edge over everybody, and I'd
top
give
5.
Maurice.
Right?
Yeah, no, he's in the top 5. Yeah, that's
top 5 coach. Top 5 coach in the league. We should expect that he's going to find the right mix of guys in the bottom 6. We'll see.
Hirsch going Knobloch. I don't think so. Not better than Sullivan.
All right. On that note, PJ, first game of the year is coming up. It is October 7th.
Yep.
So we'll be back October 8th. We will recap the first game of the year, give our reactions to opening night. You're going to be at opening night, right?
I will. Yeah, I'll be there, getting a hotel. I'm off work at 1:00 that day. I'm getting there early. Get the feels. Get the city.
PJ took a personal day from work for the Rangers.
Yeah. I need to get focused.
mental health day.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mark will be there. I think I heard Allie will be there. So yeah.
Coach, you and Little Ed going to that game or no?
Eddie's going to be away, I believe, and there's a chance I'm going.
All right.
I'm going to try to go.
Whoever goes, take some videos. Enjoy the game. We'll recap it next Wednesday, same time, same place. And I'm looking forward to that. And then we're back on track, boys. Episode 1 of season 7 coming next week. Yep. I'm pumped. We got the suite on the 12th. I'm reminding everybody.
Sunday, October 12th.
Couple of tickets still left. So, we want to enjoy it with you guys. Reach out to us. We'll make it happen. So
free food and drinks. And Coach Ed, what more can you want?
Not free alcohol though.
No, it's true.
All right, guys. Good episode. That was fun. Solid 90 minutes. Until next week. All right, Coach. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace out. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next.
Yeah, let's come back with a 1-0 start next week.
Yeah, let's go Rangers. Oh, I should say thank you to all the listeners who stayed with us in the chat for 2.5 hours. And thank you to our sponsors for making this podcast possible. On that note, love you guys. Till next week. Let's go Rangers.
Have a good night, fellas. Have a good week. We'll see you guys.